Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first day of Elgato Week and our first stream of the week. We will be live all week long, starting at 10 a.m. PT every day from Monday through Friday, talking about everything new that we are launching this week because we have been busy, okay?
Super busy.
We have been really busy over here. Not only have you seen, the past couple launches throughout the, past couple months, but we've been working on this in the background. So yeah, really exciting stuff this week. And we're starting with two really cool things. One of them is the revised Wave Mic Arm to Wave Mic Arm MK.2, which we're actually using right now, both of us.
Yep.
We'll be unboxing this and setting it up, talking about all the features, throwing on, not only mics on there, but also like prompter and a camera so you can see all the things that you can do with Wave Mic Arm MK.2. But we're also going to be showing you voice focus. And some of you may be thinking,
Well, voice
you've
focus.
seen voice focus, right?
It's been around before.
So you've had voice focus now on Wavelink since the beginning of the year, really. You've had it unlocked with your Elgato microphone, so you can use voice focus with your microphone on Wavelink. But since we launched that, you've been asking for the ability to use voice focus as a VST3, to be able to use it on your videos, on bring it into OBS. Maybe use it for when you're in Discord chat with people, you want to clean up their voice. Maybe someone's vacuuming in the background. Some of you may know what I'm talking about from the videos that went out this morning. But yeah, now voice focus is available as a standalone VST3 that you can buy, or when you buy Wave Mic Arm MK.2 for the next couple days.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's an incredible. I mean, not only are we launching a new mic arm, but it also comes with voice focus for free for the next couple days. So we're gonna take a look at all of that in just a little bit here.
Yeah.
Brito, you got started off so quickly, but do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Brito, Community Marketing Manager here at Elgato. I'm super excited for this week because it's going to be fun. I think you're not expecting Friday. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Friday. I can't wait.
And I'm Phil. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you here, and welcome if you're new here. I'm on the technical marketing team, and I'm excited to talk through all of the stuff that we have today and throughout the rest of the week. And I want to start off with a question, which we didn't prime this one, but in chat, obviously we've been like teasing a little bit. We put out some pretty blurry pictures. What are your best guesses for the rest of the week? And I guess a second question that kind of falls on that. If you guessed what was coming out today, did you guess right or did you guess wrong? And be honest, because chat, we know.
Yeah.
We know if you're honest or not honest. So if you guessed a mic arm today, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. If you guessed voice focus as an audio effect, then very nice. Elgato rug, see, I'm already going to put the kibosh on that one. We are not launching an Elgato rug, unfortunately.
No, Diego. No
An
Elgato rug.
John Elgato statue. Oh, now that's an idea there. Imagine it's like the little Oscars, statue, but it just says
You need
John
like
Elgato.
a mystery box.
Yeah, exactly.
Little figurines.
Let's see here. Milk MK.2, that is some deep lore there. That
Wow,
one's
that's
one
a
for the
deep cut.
archives. Yeah.
That's a deep cut, Ryan.
Let's see. Prompter, maybe. I mean, we're using a prompter right now, so.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
Chat's been paying attention.
Chat has been paying attention.
You guys have been locked in.
Yep. There's a weird echo coming. All right, our team is on that. Don't worry, we'll get that figured out. Phil looks just like JD Vance. That's not the first time I've heard that, but that's okay. It's when I let my beard and my hair grow out a little bit. Let's see. A chair with buttons. No.
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 Elgato Nespresso. Well, it's got Elgato Nespresso machine.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that would be, imagine
Some
if that was
Elgato
Stream Deck
coffee.
activated, you tap it, and then, or you sit at your computer, and then you could tap a Stream Deck key, and then the other room, your machine goes off.
Yeah.
And didn't you also make a video like that? Anyways, some great guesses. Some of them are right, some of them are wrong. If you did guess right today about what was launching like earlier in the week, last week, then awesome. Congratulations to you. You get a clap from me.
A nice applause.
But Brito, what does the rest of the week look like? You mentioned something about live streaming every single day.
Yeah, we're live streaming every single day for this week. And we've got a different launch or launches every single day. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned. If you're not following our Twitch channel yet or our YouTube, make sure to follow and subscribe. Join our Discord.
Yep.
Lots of news is coming through this week. And look, so some of these tools might not be the fit for you. Some others might be the perfect fit for you. Like, this is a big audience that we're hitting this week.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Lots of different things happening. Today's very audio focused, but we got a lot more coming. So yeah. All right. And then we also have a special guest later today, by the way, since we're talking voice focus and voice focus, we worked with AI Acoustics on that. We'll actually have a guest, the co-founder, Fabian from Voice Focus will be,
Super
AI
cool.
Acoustics will be joining us
Yeah.
later today. So we're excited to have a chat, have a little conversation later.
If you're like me and you love to know a little bit more of the kind of the
Yes.
inside of like how does voice focus work? Why is it as efficient as it is? How is it that you can like run it on pretty much any system and you don't need a super powerful GPU? Like kind of what is the core there? You can learn about all that today if you stick around when we chat with Fabian from
Yep.
AI Acoustics.
And then just to be super clear, when we're talking about like voice focus is now available as like a standalone VST3, if you've already been using voice focus with your microphone and wavelength, you still have that. Like you're good.
Yep.
You don't have to like buy it again to still have that. This is just for people who wanted to be able to use it in different programs, different software, and maybe even to add it to like a bunch of different other channels. But yeah, if you've been using it on your mic, like your Wave 3 and Wavelink, you're good. You still got that. So nothing to worry about there. All right. All of that being said, I guess if we could just bring up the calendar really quick and just show what this week is going to look like. Just a quick overview, and then you can see those little teaser images again. Get those little
Ooh.
guesses in. But yes, 10 a.m. PDT, you're going to want to join us every single day this week. And also for our like Spanish, German, Japanese, Portuguese, French friends, and there's so many languages. Actually, we have some really, really fun streams coming next week. So we'll have one stream for all of those languages I just said next week, between Monday and Tuesday on this stream. So if you speak any of those languages and you want to tune into those, make sure to head on over next week as well. And we'll also have a Discord stage, just a big town hall talking about everything going on this week, next week. But yeah, looking at all these clues, I wonder what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to
Yeah.
reverse engineer these, even using some like AI, Jarvis
Oh my God.
enhance that. I don't think that's going to work. But we made sure of that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we are here to answer all of your questions, and we're just super excited to talk about all of these launches. So it's super cool that we're going to be live every single day. We've got our teams live across the world. We're going to be in Discord here on, well, you're watching on Twitch. You might be watching on YouTube.
Yep.
So yeah.
And make sure to also, like I said, YouTube, Elgato, Explorer, all these places. We have so much content going out. So if you have any questions, our team has been working on it. The videos that we're putting out, the articles we're putting out will probably answer most, if not all of your questions. But today we'll be answering even more of your questions. So as you have questions, please make sure to bring them into the chat, and we'll be, answering them as we go, as well as queuing some up for like our demos. So yeah, please ask your questions in the chat as we go.
Yep.
And to just tell you real quick what we're doing today, first, we're going to be unboxing Wave Mic Arm MK.2. We're
Exciting.
going to be checking it out. We're going to be showing you all the different features. We'll be mounting different microphones on it, cameras, a prompter, so you can see all the capability of what it can handle. And it can handle an expanded range of weight, which I'm so excited to talk about, compared to the original. And then we'll be doing voice focus after that. So if you want to focus your questions on Wave Mic Arm now and save your voice focus questions for later, that's like perfect. Shall we jump in?
I think so. That's been enough chat from us. A lot of yapping.
There's
but
so
I think,
much to talk about.
Yeah, let's dive into Wave Mic Arm MK.2. How do we want to do this? Start with the unboxing right away. Take a look at the product page.
Let's actually look at the website first. Yeah.
So for context here a little bit, we've had microphone arms for quite a number of years now, and we're always looking at.
2021.
It has been a
Yeah.
while, right?
Mhm.
And we're always looking at your feedback and then also just our own ideas on what we can do to make these microphone arms even better for you in terms of the mics or the types of accessories they can support, the customization, and also the flexibility and just, how can you use this arm and which, does it go over, does it go under from the side? And then there's also just an evolution of kind of the creator setup, right? From going to just at your desk or kind of in a radio booth to now, podcasts where you have a table. Did I say podcasts? Podcasts where you have a table where the mics come out from the middle, or maybe you do more of a couch style podcast where you might want the mic arm coming over from the side. Lots of different setups. And so we're always looking to adapt the products. And so with Wave Mic Arm MK.2, I think we've really hit the sweet spot there.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that actually. Over here.
What you watching over there, Phil?
What am I watching? Oh, hey,
got a
that
good
looks
stream over
that
there.
looks super familiar. Yes. Also, if you are joining us from the website, hello, welcome. And yeah, our team also on the site did a fantastic job here letting you know when everything is happening. Of course, today, what we just dropped is Wave Mic Arm MK.2. So going to head on over into there. Um, and this is really an evolution of our existing Wave mic arm. This is a boom style microphone arm, right? So there's two different styles that you'll typically find today. One is low profile, and the other is boom arm. And this is a boom microphone arm. However, it's also got a little secret in that it has a low profile mode. So what are some of the main things here? Well, first of all, it's an all metal construction. And what that means is it's just a super premium build quality. It's got a little bit of heft to it. It's not going to like wiggle around, move around, all of that stuff. It just feels really, really nice to use. We've also upgraded and made sure that all of the joints support even more weight, or on the other side, you can also use an even lighter microphone if you want to. And then also just making sure that it's silent operation. You know, you don't want it squeaking if you're moving your microphone arm around. You don't want it squeaking or anything like that. And so our team really made sure that we got that all covered. As I said, it's got that all metal construction, and within that, you also have hidden cable channels. So you can see here, you can hide your cables. Cables are, of course, never great to look at unless that's kind of your vibe, but usually you don't want, you don't want to show the cables. And so as you can see here in the bottom right, I think, or bottom left of the stream, there I am. Hello. You can see here that the cables, the cable channels that are integrated keep it really nice and organized. So you can route your XLR cable through there, your USB cable, that sort of thing. And then I see a comment in the chat there, no logos is nice, no offense. Hey, you are actually right. And, I'm noticing that honestly for the first time right now. Yeah, there aren't any logos on this microphone arm. So it's also not going to be super in your face uh, either. It's kind of, it's supposed to be a tool that you use. And, in that sense, it kind of gets out of the way. But speaking of customization, you do have a customization option here. And I think, do we have those on the page here? Ah, there we go. So coming soon, you actually have interchangeable joint covers. And so basically what you can do here is you can take these off and then you can put different colors on there. We might offer them with designs or something like that. And these give it just a little bit of an accent. So the microphone arm is currently available in black, and then you can accent that with these different colors coming very soon. If you want a white version of the mic arm, just let us know. Obviously, we're always looking at what we can do next, but just let us know if white is something that you want. And there we have it. There's that question from Ghost316. Will this come in white? Maybe, possibly. For now, we just have the black version on launch, but let us know. And if you want to accessorize it, you can do. It would be kind of cool, actually. You could either spray paint the existing caps that come with it, or wait for the colors. But if you do like white caps, then you could almost get like a little stormtrooper build, where it's like black and white. It could look pretty cool. But yeah, so does another question here from unders code. Does the arm go beyond 90 degrees when used in low profile? So this is one of the really cool new things about this microphone arm. The first version was truly just a boom arm, which essentially here just went up and over like I'm kind of doing, just came up and over, and it didn't go fully flat. With this microphone arm, you can go fully flat on the first joint, and then the second one can go up actually a little bit. And so it is now in its low profile mode. I think we have a little video for that as well here somewhere. If I scroll down, this one right here, it will show it in there we go. You can kind of see how there's some different setups there. And so this is really cool. So that first, there's basically two parts to the microphone arm, right? There's that like first essentially section and the second section. The first one can go completely down at to a horizontal angle at 90 degrees there, as you can see. And then the second part can actually rotate up to that's about 45-degree angle, something like that. And so that means it can go under a monitor, or it could come out over, like I was talking about earlier, like a couch setup, something like that. It could come out and over and then kind of point up. And that makes it super flexible. There's a question here from Robolon. Can these be fitted to the wall instead of a desk? In theory, yes. We don't have any wall mounts for this microphone arm, but if you wanted to be creative and you wanted to do that, you could. Just keep in mind that essentially the microphone arm, the part that connects to your desk, it kind of just sits in, it sits in there, it just inserts. And now if you have it against a wall, sideways like that, you would still insert it, but then if you pull it, right, it could fall out. So, just be aware of that. But we don't have any official wall mounting capability, but it is something that you could do on your own. Here's a great question. So we've talked about all these features, right? It's that all metal construction, the interchangeable caps, the updated just build design, the new flexibility in how you use the mic arm, either in its like typical boom arm configuration or low profile. How much does it actually cost? Well, you can see here at the top of the page, we're looking at $120, which is, in fact, I don't think that's even a price increase over the existing Wave mic arm. I think they launched at both the same price. I think the existing one might have actually gone down a little bit just over time, but what we're basically doing here is just launching a newer mic arm at the same price. But get this, hold on to your seats for a second, guys. Um, and I apologize for my voice, by the way. I'm just coming back from a trip. I have a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little nasally, that might be why. But check this out. The Wave mic arm is $120. But right now, if you purchase it, you can also get the Voice Focus plugin, the Voice Focus audio effect plugin with that for free, which is a $50 value. So this is something that we're going to cover in the second half of the stream and go over what Voice Focus is. If you if as a quick summary, basically it's a plugin that you can use inside of Wavelink, inside of Adobe Audition, DaVinci Resolve, Audacity, doesn't really matter where, as long as it supports audio effects, you can use the Voice Focus plugin. And what it does is it just removes background noise. It removes basically echo or reverb from your microphone, and it lets well, kind of how we call it, it lets the sound focus on, or it lets the sound focus on your voice. It sounds really, really good. In fact, we've got it on right now. Burrito's got it on her mic. I've got it on mine. Again, if you want to know more about the details, you can check out the product page right now. We also have a YouTube video up. And during this launch week, so up until the 12th of October, when you get Wave Mic Arm, you will also get Voice Focus with that for free. Just make sure that when you check out and when you get the mic arm, you click add to order at the bottom here. And what'll happen is once you check out, you'll get a code to your email. And then you enter that code on Elgato Marketplace, and then you can get the Voice Focus plugin for free. So you're actually looking at about $170 value here. And the really cool thing is this works for any microphone, right? So if you have a microphone today that you want to get off of your desk, or maybe you have a microphone arm that's a little bit creaky, or just you're looking to upgrade, great. Get the Wave Mic Arm MK.2. You get all those new features, the new design, the improved build, the low profile mode, the regular boom mode, and then you can also use the Voice Focus plugin with your microphone to make it sound even better. We got a question here from Highglot. Can I use it with any mic? Pretty much, yeah. So Wave Mic Arm MK.2 supports weights from, I believe it's 200 grams all the way up to 1,200 grams or 1.2 kilograms. I can go down to the specs here to show you guys. And of course, you can also find all this on our website. There's even a comparison tool here if you want to check out the differences between the original mic arm. But yeah, let's take a look here at the weight capacity. Okay. I think our team actually might need to update that. But the capacity goes from 1,200 all the way down to about 200 grams. So that's pretty much any microphone that I can really think of. So what that means is you can use, of course, your Wave 3, your Elgato Wave DX. You can use your Shure SM7B, your RE20, your, what is it, HyperX Quadcast. It really doesn't matter. All of those are going to work on Wave Mic Arm MK.2, and you don't need any sort of counterweights. You don't need any, you don't need to make it any lighter. You just simply hook up your microphone and it'll hold it there in position because it is spring loaded, right? So as long as it's within that weight category, you can see here as I'm moving the microphone, it just simply stays in that position. And yeah, so it's super compatible. You can even mount other things to it. So not just microphones. It can even hold our Elgato prompter. Yeah, exactly. Bam Bam Key asks, could this hold Elgato teleprompter? And the simple answer is yes. Of course, there's a little bit more nuance in there, but depending on what camera you then attach to it, and does that camera have a lens, or are you just using a webcam, right? So there's a little bit of nuance there. But yeah, if you use something like the Facecam 4K and Elgato prompter, you can put that on the Wave Mic Arm MK.2. And that's a really cool setup because what you can do is you could then have For example, if you have a more limited space, you could have your prompter, you pull it in front of you, you record your video, then when you're done, you take your prompter and you kind of, move it out of the way, right? So you get a lot of options there. You could also put lights on here. You could put a shotgun microphone if you want it more out of the way, at the back of your monitor. You could just put the camera directly on there, like a webcam, or even a SLR if you wanted to, right? As long as it's within that weight range of about 200 grams to 1,200 grams, then you're pretty much good to go. Um, Again, on the product page, you're going to find all of this information as well. Yeah, here we have the tech specs. So here's that weight capacity. I've been talking a lot about grams. For those of us in the US, that's 0.4 to 2.6 pounds. Boy, that's a lot more complicated than grams. I wish we would just switch over here. Um, and it also comes with a bunch of different accessories, right? So it comes, the standard attachment point for your microphone is going to be a 1/4 inch thread, and that's just what it comes with out of the box. That's also going to mount to, or basically be compatible with your prompter, maybe with your other camera, right? That's like the industry standard. But we also include adapters for other sizes in there as well. So if you have a microphone that uses a 3/8 inch threading or a 5/8 inch threading, then you can also use that right out of the box because the Wave Mic Arm Mark II comes with it. And it also comes with this riser right here. Now, this riser is interesting because what it enables you to do is, let's say you mount the prompter on the side of a like a side table and you want it to come over the side of a couch. Well, you can use this riser to then have it come out over that couch arm and still come in that like low profile configuration. So this just gives you a little bit more of an option. Or if you want the mic arm to come up and over a monitor, then you can use that riser again and take it off if you want to as well. It's just an optional part in there. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Well, you also get our basically our upgraded ball head design here for the microphone itself, and we'll go into all of this in a little bit more detail in the unboxing. But essentially, it's just an improved uh, head here where you mount the microphone or your other equipment to, and that will make it a it's a little bit more stable. It's easier to use. It's got that full 360-degree rotation. Looking at the comparison table in compatibility showing weight capacity. Yeah, so that comparison table, it looks like the data is slightly wrong. Make sure you look at the tech specs on the product page. The comparison table, the team has been notified. They're on it. It might take a little bit for that to update. But yeah, so that's the 1,000 gram is actually the original mic arm. It looks like that data just got accidentally copied over. So this is the original mic arm here with 250 to 1,000 grams. The new Mic Arm Mark II does 200, so the mic can be a little bit lighter even, and it can go a little bit heavier as well. But we're on that. So yeah, any other questions? Warblade, I'm guessing you can use multiple risers if you buy extra to make the base extra tall. In theory, you could, sure, yeah. At some point, you're gonna introduce like a little bit of wobble or just possible instability. I would maybe limit that to just like 2 risers. I haven't actually personally tried that myself, but hey, that's an idea for sure. Um, and then let's see, Lee Cruz wasn't voice focus free with Wavelink. It is if you have an Elgato microphone. So if you have an Elgato Wave 3, if you have a Wave XLR or an XLR dock for a Stream Deck Plus, then you have voice focus today. What we're doing with voice focus, and again, we have a section on this in the stream a little bit later, is we're making it available to as an audio effect, as a VST3 or an AU on Mac, that you can use in any application. So it's not just in Wavelink, but it could be in OBS directly. It could be in Audacity, Adobe Audition, DaVinci Resolve, Logic Pro. Like literally, it's just an audio effect that you can use anywhere. And that was a huge ask when we launched Voice Focus because it's so awesome. And our team, they put their heads together and made it happen. So yeah, I think did we cover everything? We covered, let's see, the new build. We covered the new flexible options, the
Yep.
cable channels, all of that. Again, all of this information is also on the product page, of course, but you're here in the live stream, so we don't want to just show you a website. We actually want to show you this thing in action. So I think we should head over
To the action, Phil. Hurry up.
Actually, well, there's one more thing I
Oh.
missed, which is quite important, actually. Yeah, how do you mount this thing? Well, it comes with a clamp mount that you can see here. So it comes with a desk clamp mount out of the box, which fits most regular sized desks. I see what's happening over here. I'm being distracted. It comes with a clamp mount that, again, the dimensions are there on the product page. It fits most regular size desks. And so it just clamps on. You can put it at the back of your desk, at the front of your desk, doesn't really matter. We also do have a desk mount that you can actually screw into the top of your desk if you want that as well. That's a separate purchase though. That's something extra if you don't want to use the clamp mount, or let's say you have a thicker desk that doesn't support that, you have that as well. So
Wow, we have
this is,
so many questions.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
questions
they're
to get
cooking the
through.
questions over
Okay.
there. All right, shall we unbox, and then while one person's setting it up, we can have the other person answering some questions.
It looks like you have the knife. You're ready to go with the unboxing. It looks like you want to do it. So why don't you do that, and I'll go through some of the questions. Or she's got the knife.
I've got
She
a
can also
knife.
tell me, and if you give me the knife, then I can do the unboxing and you do the questions. Chat. Okay, actually, chat. Who do
I
you
got
want
it.
to do the unboxing? Oh, never mind.
I'm
Rito's got
unboxing.
it.
All
Okay.
right. Well, first, this is Wave Mic Arm. So you obviously you get the mic arm, you get the riser, you get all of those awesome things. You can check here in the back. You can see all those features broken down. And speaking of breaking down, let's break this seal here. This cute little Elgato logo seal. And
You're
let's
having way too much fun with that
unbox
knife.
this thing.
That's
I'm having
scary.
so much fun with this knife. Elgato knife when?
Here's actually something I'm going to answer while she's doing the unboxing. So it doesn't say Mark II on the box. Yeah, that's because the original mic arm is actually going to just kind of fade away, and this is the new mic arm.
Doing a really clean
Obviously,
unboxing.
there's still a difference between the two. So, when you're on the website, if you want to see the comparison, but for all intents and purposes, this is the new Wave mic arm. But obviously, we have to give it something so that you can differentiate it with.
Are you ready? Are you ready to see what's inside?
Do we have any quick
right.
music? Like, oh, I don't know
Wait,
if
where
that'll
the
actually
music?
come through.
All right, so the first thing you get is your quick start guide, and everybody knows the first thing you do with that is you throw it away. I'm kidding, read it.
Yeah, you really should.
You should really read it. Our team works hard on that. I, on the other hand, will throw it away.
The biggest thing you see right away is the mic arm itself. Now, I want to just mention, be a little bit careful when you take it out.
Oh, yes.
It's got a little bit of, cardboard to hold it there, but it
is
is spring-loaded, so it could also kind of like come apart. I think actually maybe inside there, I haven't actually unboxed it myself. There might be even some more adhesive to hold it together, but we'll see.
Yeah.
What else do we
You get
get?
the mic arm, you get the 2 cable covers, which is so nice for managing your cables. You can see right now we have XLR cables going through here. Super hidden, very sleek, very nice. And then here you'll get the clamp and the riser. So let's put the clamp out here. There's the clamp. And then, of course, you also get that riser. And you'll notice something here. Phil, where's the plastic? Where's the plastic in my
Plastic?
packaging?
What plastic? This packaging is entirely plastic free, so you can recycle the whole thing.
Yep.
Make sure you don't throw this in the trash. Recycle.
Even the
something
stickers,
for the world, yeah.
even this tape in here, it's all eco.
But I was about to, oh man, she found it. But I was about
Oh.
to say, you almost missed it. And this is something that does happen quite frequently. There's always a little packet in here that has your adapters, your little hex key for adjustments, stuff like that. Make sure you take this out of the box as well. If you throw this away, it's not the end of the world, but it's kind of, it's kind of annoying. But this includes a couple things that you want, that you'll want to have.
Yeah, so you'll get those adapters as well as you tighten and
Yep.
the tension. All right, shall we set it up?
Let's do it.
First, here, you do this.
And like I said, I have not actually unboxed this myself, so I'm curious to see, did we?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, so it just unfolds like this. And so when you do that, again, just make sure, because again, it is, spring-loaded here. Just make sure that, you're a little bit careful when you do this. But yeah, you just take off the cardboard, and I'm going to throw that back there. And the next thing you know, it kind of, whoop, there we go. It kind of swings open. And there's your mic arm now in all its glory. And as you can see, yeah, it does actually fit together in this compact form. So if you do want to push it down and have it like this on your desk, you can do that. And then there's also the low profile mode, right? So if I actually kind of flip this like so, well, actually, it's probably better. We'll just show you on the desk.
Put it on the
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this clamp, by the way, if you're not familiar with these, this is just going to clamp really nicely onto your desk. Then you also have a ratchet lever here on actual.
Be honest,
stand.
chat. How many of you knew that
You
is
might
called
not
a
know about
ratchet
this,
lever?
right? So if you are, let's say, mounting this and there's a wall right here, or you're maybe hitting the leg of your table, which was my experience, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
with my original key lights. I did not know this at the time. So I would have to like tighten as much as I could and then slide it and then try to get that extra bit. You actually don't have to do that, right? So let's say you have the wall here. Can you simulate the
I'm the
wall?
wall.
Thank you. All right. So you would like tighten this way and then you bring it down. Now when I bring it back, it's actually not releasing what I just tightened. Put it this way, and now I'm making progress. You can actually um, fasten it all the way without having to worry about bumping into a wall or the leg on the table. Whoa, so smart, bro. I didn't know that one. It's always so fun to talk about that
Yeah.
because, I mean, me too. When I got my original key lights, I just discovered yes. So even if you're not buying this mic arm, maybe
Yep.
you already have one or you already have a key light.
Yeah, it's actually, we
Well,
do that standard. So on
ta-da!
our low profile arms, on the Wave Mic Arm MK.2, on our key lights, any of our desk clamps, they come with this new ratchet lever
Yeah.
design for a couple of years now, which it really is
I
really
love when
simple.
everybody
Yeah.
has the aha moment of like, oh my god, I have been doing this
Mm-hmm.
wrong, but we're here to tell you how to do it right. Right, cool.
So
So
it's desk mounted
nice and
now.
fastened. This ain't going nowhere.
So then you have the option of using the riser here. So this riser, it's literally just a metal piece here that you would insert into the desk mount or the desk clamp like so.
And this is
Uh,
optional too.
This is optional. This is just if you want the mic higher. And you have this little, what is it? Is this an Allen key or a hex key? I think either or works.
Allen key.
Allen key. You use this. There's a little screw at the back that you use because right now you can see it's still a little wobbly and it turns. There's a little screw here at the back that you can then fasten. You can just leave it there.
You want to show them?
Nah, it's all right. They'll chat knows, right? Yeah, so you can just fasten this, and now look, the riser doesn't move, no wobble or anything. So just remember, you can use this little key here to fasten the riser once it's been inserted. But if you don't want to use it, then you can also just go ahead and take it out again, which is what we're going to do. And now we're going to put in the mic arm. So again, super simple. You just we have a question
Oh,
here.
that's so cute. That's what I love about Elgato. Even though their products are incredible, they're always looking at ways to make it better, and they always deliver. That's so sweet. Thank you. Our product team works really hard, and we share so much of your feedback and the things that you like or want improved on products. So that's why we're able to do really cool upgrades like Wave Mic Arm MK.2 because of the feedback and information you guys share with us. And can you use the riser for my Pro arm? I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're the same. So
they're the same. Yeah,
you can use the other one if you already have one, but it does come with it. So when you buy it, you'll already have this additional riser.
Yep. You'll also see one more small detail about the riser. Even at the top, there's a little screw here. This is if you want to tighten the mic arm so that it doesn't rotate either. So just a nice little detail
Get
there.
that slotted in.
But once you have your mic arm, you just go ahead and insert it like so, and there you go. Now it is set up and ready for you to attach your actual microphone. And there you can see there's that low profile mode, or you can use it in its kind of more typical configuration here in its high-rise mode. And boy, that action, I mean, you might not really see it or hear it, but it is really smooth and there's no sound at all. And even check this out, even without attaching a mic to it, it still stays. You know, some mic arms, they kind of fly up when you don't put anything on it. Well, even this one, man, our team really did a great job. It even just stays kind of where you leave it.
W team.
So then the next part would be attaching, your microphone. And so this is the new ball head here. This is the same design we use on our all of our Mic Arm Pro right now. So you have a little, I don't know what you call this, like a little lever here that you can use to loosen it. And then this would be my recommendation for when you attach a microphone is you loosen it because then you can spin kind of the ball head part here, because you could either spin the microphone, but that gets really annoying. So instead, just hold the microphone in place and then spin the ball there. In fact, maybe Brito, can you get me a Wave 3? I think we have one of those laying around here.
Oh, you mean this Wave 3 with a shock mount already attached for
you?
you?
I'm just going to attach this. There's a little bit of string
this
here.
This is our content one. This one's been through it.
Yeah. So if you have something like a Wave 3, right here you have the mount point. And so like I said, you want to loosen the ball head and then just hold it in place and then spin. You can see here, you can spin the bottom. And that makes it a lot easier because otherwise you'd have to spin the mic and you don't want to do that.
That's what I do.
You'll also notice that there's quite a bit, I'm trying to make this as cinematic as possible here, but you'll notice there's quite a bit of the screw that can go into the mic. You do not need to insert the entire screw. because you also have this little, what is this called? Like a locking nut. Because what happens is right now, the mic is already inserted, but it would freely kind of, kind of spins around. You don't really want that. So what you do once you get into the position that you want and you've screwed it in a couple times, you simply take this locking nut, and this is essentially rotated in the opposite direction of the mic. And then you go like that, and then secure it. And there you go. Now the mic is not gonna, there's no wobble, there's no rotation. And of
Looks
course, if you want to take the mic off
sturdy.
again or adjust the rotation, it's super simple to just unscrew this locking nut here, rotate the mic, and then fasten it again. And there you go. That's how you can attach a Wave 3, and you're pretty much done. Yeah, it's super simple, super easy, but we aren't done yet. There's
Yeah.
still a part that's missing, and that's
I
the
do
actual
want to see the low
cable.
profile mode real quick.
Ooh, yeah.
Can you do that for me over there? Just show them. It's like it's a showstopper. Look at that. Low profile mode.
Yep.
That's actually how Phil's using his mic arm right now.
I've got the same thing set up here, but yeah, this is the low profile mode. It gets very long at that point, right? Because it is sticking out pretty straight. So that's why it's a little bit out of focus
They
there.
could go lower. They could go higher there too. We'll go through all of that soon.
But okay, so you've got your mic on there. Now what about the cables?
Yeah, let's go ahead and grab this cable and we're going to route it cleanly.
It looks too long in LP mode. It definitely is longer, and it's longer than our Mic Arm LP. And also something to consider is that you don't have, unlike our Mic Arm LP, you don't have the rotation horizontally here, right? You only have vertical, up, down. You don't have horizontal, so something to keep in mind. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Yep. All right.
So for this cable, we'll just slot it through this cable channel you see here.
Yep.
Cable channel. Then you get the plastic covers, and then you just slot that right in.
And these just go in, and it definitely is a one-person operation. They kind of just slot in like that, like so. Check that out. You can slide them up and down a little bit if you want to as well. And then it keeps your setup super clean. The other really nice part is that we have these covers here. Basically, this is the mic arm as well. You can see here the front. You don't have this like, well, you don't really see these. I don't even know what you call them. It's just, it's not see-through like some other mic arms are, so it just makes it all really clean. But there you go. Now you have a fully set up mic and microphone arm. Super smooth, super easy. It takes just a couple minutes. And now you can adjust it to however you want to use it.
You know that that PE game where you have the volleyball and then you have to like try to spin it around all the way?
Or it's like, or there's like a clap one too, where you're not allowed, you're not supposed to hit it, It's like if it rotates all the way around or something like that. I don't know. There's some sort of game. Anyways.
You can play that if you wanted. That'd be weird, but sure. Yeah, it does have that 360 range of movement. Obviously, you want to be mindful of the cable, but if you have something like wireless, then you don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then these are the joint covers here as well that you can see that we talked about. These are removable. It does take a little bit of force to take them off. Once you take them off the first time, it'll get easier. And there's 3 of them. There's 1, 2, and 3. And again, in the future, we'll be releasing some different colors, maybe some designs, maybe even some custom ones with some cool partners and creators that we work with. We'll see. We'll see. That's all in the future. But for now, let's talk a little bit more about this low profile mode, right?
Yeah.
So this is in its regular boom arm configuration here. And what you simply do is you kind of pull it down like so, and then you'll see it kind of sits at that horizontal, what is this, 90-degree angle?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part, the second segment of this arm, this can move all the way up to about 45 degrees here. And that's the maximum. It kind of locks out there. Now, again, you might be wondering, well, okay, if I get this mic arm, that kind of solves everything. I don't need a low profile arm. Well, the difference to the low profile arms is that the design and the cable channels and stuff like that. But kind of the second thing, and really more importantly, is that at the center joint here, the low profile arms, they can still rotate there horizontally, right? So it gives you a little bit more flexibility. Whereas here, you only have vertical rotation.
Yeah.
And so you are kind of, locked into this if I want it here, if I want the mic over here, it's going to be locked in that direction, but I can't really adjust it otherwise. So it's a little trade-off.
Zinc asks, is this replacing both mic arm and mic arm LP? It isn't, right? At the end of the day,
can you give me the other mic arm LP actually? Just hand it, and then I can kind of show you can just take it out of the mount as well. I just want to illustrate kind of what the difference is there and why. yeah, why we're not just replacing it. So this is the Mic Arm LP here. Boy, we have a lot of mics on, mic
It's a
arms on
lot
the
of mic
stream
arm.
right now,
You want another one?
right? But this is the Mic Arm LP here. And so you can see here, this has vertical rotation, right? If I loosen this, this has the vertical rotation and it has that horizontal rotation at the mid joint there. And so this just gives you some additional other flexibility that you may want to consider if you're going for a low profile design. But the great thing about the Wave Mic Arm Mark II is that you do have that choice of, you know, boom or low profile. So yeah, I guess we can actually just show that off here. I'll insert that there. And you can also see that the Wave Mic Arm LP is just a little bit shorter, you know, because of how we expect most people to use it, kind of behind their monitor or on a desk, you know, maybe in a podcast, something like that. The cable channels are also slightly different, but
I rotated it the wrong way.
what is it? Righty tighty, lefty
I do it every
loosey?
time. It's like connecting a USB. There we go. Now it's
So there
correct.
you can kind of see the difference as well in the length. The Mic Arm Mark II is a lot longer, but that's because, of course, you want that flexibility of having it go up and over a monitor or just rotate to the side of your desk. So that's kind of the difference there. And so yeah, Mic Arm LP is not going away. Wave Mic Arm Pro also not going away. These are both going to exist together, and that gives you the choice of which one you want to get.
Yep. I mean, this is
Yeah.
designed to be a low profile microphone, and this has that additional feature that lets it do that, but this is still the, like, if you only want a low profile mic arm, this is the one to get, or the Pro. All right.
For anyone in chat, if you already have a mic arm, what kind of mic arm are you using today? Are you using a low profile mic arm? Doesn't also have to be Elgato, by the way, just saying, but like, or are you using a boom arm? If you want to shout out the, you know, the brand of mic arm you use, you're more than welcome to.
Yep.
I expect to see a lot of Elgato in there. If not, hey, now's the time to upgrade.
So what I also want
yeah.
to showcase is the new Wave Mic Arm Mark II versus the original. So what we
Yes.
have here, this is the original Wave Mic Arm. We launched it in 2021. It looks a little bit different. This is so much cleaner. It's also got metal in places where this has plastic. It's got the cleaner look here. You know, instead of this like triangle shape with the logo, it's just this really clean like rounded rectangle, no logo. And like, you know, Phil was mentioning, these are actually like caps that you can take off and replace. So, you know, we're hoping to have colors available in the future. And then if you wanted to like custom print something, you could, you could do that as well.
Yeah.
You can get really creative with it. But yeah, you can also see some differences like in the cable channel. Like this one had like a rubber one that was honestly a little bit difficult to take out. This was always like a little fun thing for me to take out, but now this one is much easier. It's both sturdy when you need it to be, but also, you know, easy to route when you want to maybe replace a cable, or if you're taking out the cable entirely and putting a camera on there that's wireless, anything like that. And then you can also see the difference between that mounting point for the microphone. You can see this like additional piece here is just really sturdy, very helpful for getting the like perfect angle for your microphone. And meanwhile, this one just had that like that little
Like rounded
multi-mount,
design, yeah.
master mount style like ball.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see also the difference here, that big triangle. LP arm user here. Just now I learned that I had to fasten the black screw on the desk clamp a little bit more. It feels solid now. Awesome.
You
I'm
don't
glad
have
to
to,
hear.
but if it helps
Yeah.
make it a little bit more solid,
You
less
have the
wiggle,
option.
then yeah,
Some
absolutely.
people would want that to like spin around freely. That's what I like in my setup, because when I
Yep.
tuck away my Mic Arm Pro, I want it like gone. But some people might want it to like always stay kind of in front of them. Then you can just tighten that. I love that you're learning, even if like you already have the Mic Arm, you're learning features for your existing Mic Arm. The old version can go
Maybe
down,
we
like
need to
the new
make like a
one.
little pro tip series where we go into like all the little details. Yeah, that one couldn't really. And
This is kind of it.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't like the tension wasn't really designed for this. So you could run into some issues trying to do that with the original. Also, this technically goes lower.
Yep. Yeah, we'll show the difference there.
It can go lower, right? So this is still not going to clear my monitor at home. My monitor is not this high up, but this will absolutely clear my monitor. So if we just bring this back here, you can see the difference of this angle. So yeah, you can absolutely clear, you know, a monitor.
The bottom of a monitor, yeah.
All the way at the bottom of your desk, you can clear a monitor with this. Unlike, you can't go any higher than this. With this one, you can actually go higher.
No, that's actually that's a 45-degree angle. Is that? So this is more of like a 30 degrees right here, and this one.
You can go higher with the mount. On
yes.
the front.
Oh yeah, that's right. If I rotated the mount up, you could do that. But Yeah, I mean, but the mic arm so the original Wave mic arm, it was fantastic for its time. It's still going to be around for a little bit. You might see it here and there, but really, Wave Mic Arm MK.2 is just replacing that straight up. So eventually, you're just going to see Wave Mic Arm MK.2. If you're thinking about getting a mic arm today, look at the Wave Mic Arm MK.2,
Yep.
and you'll get all those awesome improvements, the flexibility, the design, everything we've talked about here. And I want to go back to that question that I asked earlier about what mic arm are you using. I saw a lot of different answers there, really cool. A lot of low profile, a lot of boom arm as well. Some Elgato, some non-Elgato. Well, hey, hopefully by being in this live stream, we can convince you that you
Yeah.
change over to an Elgato mic arm.
I see a few people asking about comparing it with Wave Mic Arm Pro, so let's bring that over now.
Ah, yes. What's the difference there to Wave Mic Arm Pro?
So this is Wave Mic Arm Pro, very similar like shape-wise to LP. So you're not going to see too much of a difference there. But you do have that. Oh my God, what's the word, Phil? I always forget the word.
What the
The
gas piston
gas
spring?
piston spring. I need to like that to like be tattooed on my hand in here because
GP
every time I talk about this mic arm, I
It's really
forget.
simple. GPS.
Actually, that's helpful.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking for where to go, I'll just remember GPS.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Someone quiz me later and see if I remember. So yeah, the gas piston spring in here is, I believe, slightly different than the spring in
It
here.
is, yes.
Yeah.
So the gas piston spring, there's actually a little bit of, well, literally gas in there that kind of holds it in place more, whereas this is actually spring loaded, right?
Yeah.
So there's there's a spring in there that uses, and oh boy, I'm probably going to get this wrong. It uses not tension, it uses something else. Tension is when you like tighten a screw to hold something in place. This uses, okay, maybe I don't have it off the top of my head. Anyways,
There's actually
yeah.
these little critters in here. They just hold it down.
Little hamsters in there that
Little
are holding your
hamster-
mic.
So like there's a wheel and they'll hold it for you.
And as you can
Not
see,
true.
again, same thing there with this low profile design. You get that horizontal rotation at that middle axis there, at that middle segment. And so again, this
Down
makes
low.
it a little bit nicer when you're using it in that low profile mode. Of course, you don't have that on the Wave Mic Arm MK.2 here. The cable channel is also slightly different, but again, the great thing is that you just have that those options now of which ones you want to use. And both of them are awesome. Both of them very flexible. Both of them are built with metal. Yeah, both of them come with that clamp mount for your desk, and they
You're not
go
going to be able
very
to see
high.
the height different here. I'm trying
Yeah.
to show the height difference.
Oh yeah, it goes
This thing goes
out of the
tall,
camera.
right?
There's probably a
And
fun gag there around that. There you go.
so yeah, if you're going for vertical height, Wave Mic Arm MK.2, definitely the move. But if you just want about this much height, or you're not even going for height, you just want it to reach your mouth, then maybe something like Wave Mic Arm LP or
Yep.
Wave Mic Arm Pro. I'm curious, Phil, are you a low profile or a high profile?
High profile.
You're high
I'm
profile?
a VIP kind of guy.
Oh my God.
No, I at home use Wave Mic Arm LP. I haven't even upgraded to the Pro yet. In fact, even here at the office, I still use a regular Wave Mic Arm LP. The reason why, frankly, I'm just a little bit lazy. I just haven't gotten around to changing it up yet. But yeah, definitely low profile for me. I love just having a very clean desk and not having kind of anything come up in my vision, like the Wave Mic Arm might. And it's just better because I have a smallish desk. So yeah, What about you, Burrito? Though.
I'm low profile.
Okay,
Sorry.
low
Wave Mic
profile.
Arm Pro all the way in my setup. Just because the way that I have my setup, I just like being
Mhm.
able to have this go in front of my drawing tablet, and my drawing tablet's here, and then my monitor's here. I need to kind of clear both of those things. But yeah, the really cool thing about this though is that it has that optional low profile mode. For me, that's my favorite
I
personal
also want to
feature on
ask the two
this.
people behind the camera.
Yeah.
We have Sean and Chris. Chris, what about you? What mic arm do you use?
High, low,
Low profile, and then Sean, what do you use?
low, high profile for
Okay,
Sean.
so boom arm. Yep.
Sean's clearing some monitors over here.
Yep. Okay. Very cool. All right, so we got a little bit of a mix here. I'm sure there's even more folks from Elgato also in chat. I see not James there. That is James.
Yeah. And then when you
Yeah.
buy Wave Mic Arm MK.2 until what day was that? The 16th?
Until the 12th.
The 12th. The 12th. Until
Yep.
the 12th, if you buy Wave Mic Arm MK.2, you actually get voice focus for free.
Can we do a quick demo of that?
Yeah.
So again, we have a whole nother segment of this live stream where we're going to talk about voice focus, but I just want to show you a little bit of what voice focus does. So if we could cue that up, Chris, I am using right now a Wave DX, which is a dynamic microphone. It's going into a Wave XLR. This setup on its own already sounds really, really good. I mean, you've got a great microphone, you've got a great audio interface. It really doesn't need much more processing. However, we also have a little bit of room tone going on here. We have an AC because obviously, we want to make sure that we're not sweating in this room. And there's also just
It's a
general
loud
kind of,
AC in here. You actually
there's
can't
some,
turn it off
no, we can't.
in
There's no
the
choice.
office.
Yeah. And so, there is still a little bit of sound. And so, what I want to do is maybe, Chris, you can disable voice focus for a second and you'll hear what the difference is. And so my voice still sounds really, really good, right? It still sounds crisp, clear. I'm close to the microphone. However, there's still a difference, right? It still sounds, well, not quite the same as when you enable voice focus. The other thing that I could do, for example, is if I pull a keyboard up now and voice focus is disabled and I start typing on that keyboard, you'll probably be able to hear that. However, if Chris turns on voice focus again, and I start talking, and now I start typing on the keyboard, then, I don't have headphones, so I can't hear myself, but hopefully, you're not actually hearing any of the keyboard sound, and my voice just sounds a little bit better. And so this is a free audio effect that you get with Mic Arm MK.2 if you purchase it today, all the way through, what
Yeah.
is it, October 12th. And then you can use this inside of Elgato Wavelink. You can use this inside of Adobe Audition, Audacity, OBS Studio, basically any software that works with audio effects, either VST3 on Windows and Mac, or on Mac specifically, AU
I want to add
or audio
a really
units.
quick note. So this instance of voice focus, we have it running really light just for the room noise.
That's true,
But
yes.
because we
Yeah.
are like demoing things and we want additional sounds, it's light.
Yeah.
We have it running light. But if you want to fully get rid of the keyboard sounds, I'm only saying this because Phil didn't set up the voice focus behind the
Yeah.
scenes because you were traveling. It's actually running very light right now.
And
Now
oh,
it's heavy.
now it's
So
heavy?
now
Okay.
if you do that, you'll hide the
Yeah,
keyboard.
definitely
Yeah.
if I start, well, you probably didn't even hear that squeak, but now if I type on the keyboard, yeah, and that's one of the really cool things too, is you can adjust how much voice focus is active. And that way you can, if you already have a really good sounding mic like we do here, or I think you probably do at home as well, you don't want to overdo it. But yeah, so, and we'll talk more.
Oh yeah. My mic is not. Wait, do you want to just mute my mic? Yeah.
Oh, you heard the squeak? Okay, there we go. Now, voice focus is on. And I'm typing on the keyboard, I'm just typing random things. And yeah, so that's the difference there. Now you can hear what it's like with it off and with it on. And again, if you want to know more about the technology and also just generally how to install it, how to use it, all of that, well, you're already in the live stream. Stick around because we're going to talk about voice focus a lot well, I don't know how much time, frankly, but in a little bit here.
Yep.
But again, what I want to mention there is you get voice focus for free. And so if we could hop over to the demo system over here, really important what you do is when you go to check out and purchase Mic Arm MK.2, you'll see on the product page here, free voice focus plugin. Make sure you hit add to my order and then hit add to cart here. And then you'll see well, it'll automatically add it to the cart for you. And then it says here, plus free voice focus effect. So make sure you do that. This is a limited time deal, only during this kind of like launch week from October, what is it today? The 6th all the way to the 12th. So you have about 6 days just this week. After that, you will have to purchase voice focus separately. But again, this is kind of incredible, right? Because you are getting a mic arm, which is already going to improve the sound of your microphone because you can bring it closer to you, or maybe you want to mount something else, totally fair as well. And you get this audio effect that you can use across all your different computers, across any software. It works for your microphones. It even works for other people, right? So if you're in Discord, and other people are being loud and noisy and eating chips and just, all sorts of things, you can also just apply voice focus to them and then it'll clean up their sound as well. So
Yep.
this is a absolutely insane deal. When I saw this and like when the team said, "Hey, we're doing this," I was like, wow, okay. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer then.
Yep.
No joke.
Yeah, we're actually about to go to voice focus demos, but first I do want to add like a prompter and a camera on Mic Arm
Yes,
MK.2 because I
yeah.
know we got a lot of questions about that, and you can absolutely mount those on here. I'll note for prompter, if you have a really heavy camera attached to prompter, then you want to be mindful of the weight limit with this mic arm, but generally you should be okay. And we're actually going to set one up right
If
now.
you want to hand me
Yeah.
the other product, I can do that. Maybe we can also, in the meantime, also just get to some more questions because I see in chat there I can't talk anymore, ton of questions. So let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say thank you guys for asking all these questions. Like, this is why we do this. We want you to understand these products. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, I'm sorry if it's already been answered," but this. Like, please ask the questions. We don't even mind answering them again. Throughout this entire week, our goal from 10 to noon or later, depending on what day it is, PT, we're here to answer your questions about all these products we're launching. We've got 5 days of product launches. It took us a while to learn about all these products. We want this information to be so clear for you. So thank you so much for all these incredible questions. Boss asks, if we already have voice focus and wavelength, do we have to pay for it? So there's an important note here. If you have already been using voice focus with your Wave 3, with, maybe you already had XLR dock for Stream Deck Plus, or you're using Wave XLR, you're using voice focus with any of those microphones, you're going to be able to continue using that in wavelength. That
Yeah,
remains
nothing
free,
changes.
which is awesome. But when we launched that, so many people were asking to get a standalone version of it that they could bring into something like Premiere to use it as a VST3, or just using it anywhere else. They want to be able to use it in more places for more microphones, for more audio inputs or outputs, whatever. So that being said, this version is like an additional thing that you can choose to get if you want that feature.
Yep.
From honestly, some of you might not even need it, right? You're already happy. You're Wave 3. You're getting your voice focus on wavelength. You're good there. Perfect. But for those of you making maybe editing videos and you're using your phone microphone, you want to clean that up and post, or maybe you have Discord friends calling in and their audio needs some work.
Or
maybe they don't have voice focus on their mics. You can actually put voice focus on anything like
don't
that.
you hate it when you're recording a podcast and someone's using an impact driver right behind you to, like, I don't know, drill something into their wall? Well, we'll show you what voice focus does in a little bit here.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start mounting some other gear onto Wave Mic Arm MK.2 here to show you just how that works. So we'll start off. Actually, we'll start off with something that, I mean, is pretty obvious, but we'll just start off with our Facecam 4K. So Facecam 4K here. It's pretty light, pretty easy, right? Same thing. It's got the 1/4-inch thread at the bottom. That's what comes with Wave Mic Arm MK.2. You just insert the camera, or rather insert the screw into the camera, screw it in a little bit until it's nice and secure. Then use the locking nut, and there you go. Then you can use your, use this if you want. For example, what's really nice with this is if you want to do like a top-down shot like this, you can then have your, have your camera. We could do like a live top-down unboxing or something like that.
Pokemon cards over
I didn't
here?
plug in the cable, obviously, but kind of figures, right? You guys know that you'll have your cable plugged in as well then. So yeah, you can do that with Facecam 4K. So that's pretty simple there. I'll go ahead and take that off now.
And can you lock it in like this really quick, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you want like a really
Let's
high up
see.
camera showing maybe your whole room versus like your actual camera that you're using for like your main. Look at that. You can have you can move it around. Maybe you want a pet cam.
Maybe someone's being a little sus and you can be like, hey, what's going on?
That looks insane. You have to look. This is what I'm staring at right in my eye. It's just this big old lens. But yeah, maybe you have like a pet and you want to do like a little pet cam. Look, you can even like angle this downwards. Maybe even like under the desk. They're like sitting on their little bed down there. Yeah, you can really use it for anything. And yeah, let's definitely see prompter on there.
I'm getting Pixar light vibes from this setup.
Roger unboxing and doing Legos.
Yeah.
This is perfect for that top down. Oh, crocheting, art stream. Yes. Pet cam, 100%. Yes. I like the thinking.
So then, what's the next thing? Well, you might have a bigger camera, something like a DSLR or SLR here. Here we've got a Sony 6500. Again, pretty much every camera in the world uses that standardized 1/4-inch thread, so they'll have those at the bottom here. And you can just simply insert the mic arm like so. Screw it in a little bit until it's sturdy, then use the locking nut. And now we tighten it, and there you go. Now you have your maybe your high-end 4K camera, and you want to use this as your overhead, or you want to use this as your webcam, to get that really nice bokeh background blur with the lens on there. You can do that as well with the Wave Mic Arm MK.2. Now, of course, here you would have a power cable running to it, and probably also an HDMI cable, so that way you can get the camera into your computer. And then the final thing that we're gonna show here is attaching the prompter. That one's gonna be a little bit more fiddly just because it's a it's bigger, so bear with me here, but that also works. And with the prompter, you have to consider that there's already the prompter weight itself in addition to whatever camera you're using, right? So keep that in mind. So make sure that the camera plus prompter weigh under 1,200 grams, right? And so for this setup, it's gonna be a little bit different because you'll see here the prompter has two mount points. It's got 1/4 inch thread here, and then it's got another one more in the middle here. And so obviously, if you want to mount your prompter kind of head on like this, that's not really going to work because the screw isn't going to reach it. But you can mount it to the side here, like so. And then again, it's a little bit taller, it's a little bit bigger, like that. Screw in the locking nut. There you go. And then I also need to fasten the other piece here.
Night Owl. I put quick release plates on my prompter, so this part
Yeah.
was easier. And
And now you
that's
can
why your setup is so
take your
nice.
prompter. Whoop. Again, you need to make sure you need to obviously keep in mind where you're mounting it and that, you have a little bit more limited range of motion because of the size of the prompter, but there's an idea there as well. You could even get something like a little bracket that
You
shifts
can
the prompter
also
back. There's lots of
mount your
options there.
camera and then slot prompter
Yep,
on that.
absolutely.
Should we get that? Could you give me a back plate?
Do we have a back plate? Do we want to do
Back
that?
plate for the camera?
What size is the lens on there?
One is no, the back plate.
So as you can see with the mic arm, you have lots of different options of what to mount. It could be a microphone, it could be a light, could be a camera, webcam, doesn't really matter. It could even be something like, doesn't the new Corsair Xenon Edge have a 1/4 inch thread at the bottom as well? So you can mount another screen onto your prompter. You can mount
Yeah.
another screen onto your Wave mic arm.
Yep.
So you could do that as well. Yeah, you have lots of different options. Um, let's see. I think Sean is looking for a backplate.
Yeah. The
That's
back
all right
plate
though.
and the ring.
If we don't have one, that is also okay. It's going to be a little bit fiddly to set up. I would say I think we may make
How
just
about
a video on that or something
you
like
can
that.
also show voice focus. I'll be setting that up.
Okay, that
Yeah?
works too.
Because it's voice focus time. So if you guys want to see voice focus in action, we're going to be putting it on a couple different things, like a Wave 3 with, some room noise going on because
Yep.
we have loud AC here. You'll also see it on some videos and stuff like that. So shall we demo?
I think yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Head over here. All right. So Elgato Voice Focus is a let's see. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of messages. Is someone mad at me for something on the stream?
You leaked,
No.
didn't you?
It is about the
saw it.
leaks, but nothing bad. Nothing
Mhm.
nothing bad for this week. So Elgato Voice Focus is something that we released earlier in the year with our Wavelink 2.0 update. And what this is today is an audio effect that is built right into Wavelink that you simply enable. And what I'm going to do now is also I'm going to switch to the other microphone that I have here. All right, and you guys should be able to hear me. If you can't, say it in chat. But yeah, I'm currently on a Wave 3 now, and this is the same Wave 3 that is in Wavelink. And so Voice Focus is currently on. It's got that, we're at about 75% strength, and I'm going to disable it now, and you should be able to hear. Well, you should be able to hear more of what the whole room sounds like. Burrito's moving around, doing stuff. If I now type on the keyboard here, you hear more background noise. And with voice focus, it's as simple as just simply, oh, there we go. Chris is coughing, our tech director. Now, if I turn on voice focus, you can hear the difference there. It immediately removes background noise, any sort of like keyboard typing. It also makes me sound essentially closer to the microphone, even though I'm not as close. Actually, let me move this guy out of the way here like that. There we go. It makes me sound closer to the microphone. And this is just built into Wavelink 2.0. And so when we released this, a lot of you were asking for, well, I love this technology, but I want the same thing in, another app, like, for example, Audacity or DaVinci Resolve, right? And we have that available now. The other thing that it enables you to do is you can now use voice focus on other channels. For example, you could, you have Discord set up here. You could add voice focus onto that channel just by going in here, adding an audio effect, Elgato voice focus. There you go. And now everyone, all of your friends, no matter how good or bad let me just close this for a second. No matter how good or bad their microphone is, everyone is going to be able to be affected by voice focus, and they're going to sound better for you or for your live stream. Um, and so the question then kind of is, well, okay, how do you get voice focus? Well, it's available on Elgato Marketplace. So I'm going to go over here. We don't want to scan that QR code. So Elgato Marketplace is where you're going to find it. If you head over to Wavelink here, and then you'll actually see we set up a little tile here, get Elgato voice focus, or you can also just go to voice effects and you'll see Elgato voice focus. We also have search. You can read a little bit about how it works, and there's a couple pictures, of course, but there's even a audio demo here. There's a little video that you can listen to. Just make sure you actually unmute it. Um, and then you'll be able to hear what the difference is before purchasing it. Um, excuse me. So that is where you find Elgato Voice Focus. It's on Elgato Marketplace. Again, as we were mentioning earlier, though, with Wave Mic Arm MK.2, if you purchase it today, all the way through October 12th, so for the next couple days, you'll get Voice Focus here for free. That's a $50 value. You'll get that as part of an email. So you get an email code. You enter that onto Elgato Marketplace when you're ready to go. So I already see a question there about the price, $50. And so there's a couple things I want to say here. First of all, the power of voice focus is incredible. And we're going to demonstrate that here in a little bit in DaVinci Resolve when I'm doing some video editing, just as an example. It cleans up, it not only makes your audio or your microphone sound better, like it literally can take a microphone that sounds pretty meh and make it sound like something that is maybe double or even more as expensive. The other part is you can use it then in any software that you want to, right? It doesn't matter. Once you activate it once, you can use it in any app as many times as you want, anything like that. It's super easy to use. And again, I'll show you that as well. The next thing is it's a one-time purchase. You'll get, if we update voice focus, if we do new and improved models, which maybe we'll talk with Fabian about that, our guest who's going to come on later, then we'll release an update and you're going to get that that update is just going to be for free because it is a one-time purchase. You could also use it across different computers. You can use it up to 3 different computers. If you want to use it beyond that, you do have to deactivate a previous one. But if you have a single, maybe you have a Mac that you're traveling with or, a Windows laptop, maybe you have one at home, boom, there you go. You can have voice focus active on both of those. And then you can use it right away. So there's really, and we'll show this here, that $50 price tag is really, really competitive, I think, and also something that once you kind of hear it and see what it does, it kind of justifies that. So let's take a look then at how you would use voice focus. And for this, I'm going to actually put on some headphones so I can hear it. These headphones here, these are the Virtuoso Maxes from Corsair. All right, so I've got these on now, and I'm gonna go ahead and open Resolve, and I just wanna show you guys how cool this is. I've got DaVinci Resolve here. I do believe you need the studio version of Resolve to use audio effects. I'm not 100% on that, but that's the ones that I've got set up here. So give me a second here. We've got Voice Focus Demo. All right, so I'll go to effects and we've got our model here. This is Brett. Oh, and there you can already hear the sound coming through. Brett is wanting to record some gameplay, and his friend decided that at the same time, or his neighbor, has to do some drilling into the wall. So let's go ahead and listen to what this sounds like without voice focus on.
All right. Ooh, nice drop. Oh, there's 4 behind us. I'm on 1. Sorry. My neighbors are like renovating or something.
So that's an impact driver or an impact drill there, and that's really annoying. You can hear that very clearly through the mic, right? Not great. Now we'll go ahead and simply turn on voice focus as an audio effect, and it's set to the maximum strength, and we'll play that same exact clip.
All right. Ooh, nice drop. Oh, there's 4 behind us. I'm on 1. It sorry. My neighbors are, like, renovating or something. Paper thin walls.
And so you can see it cleans up pretty much all the sound. There's almost no more sound coming through at all. And if let's say that the sound isn't as intense that you've got, maybe it's just like the hum of a air conditioner or something like that, then you can also just turn down the strength of the audio effect here if you want to do that. And so to just demo it again as a little bit more in real time, I'm going to go ahead and play the clip again with voice focus off.
Oh, there's 4 behind us. I'm on 1. It sorry. My neighbors are, like, renovating.
And now I'm just going to play the same clip and turn it on again.
Oh, there's 4 behind us. I'm on 1.
And actually, you can hear it still a little bit because I turned the strength down. Now I'm going to turn it up again to 100%, and we'll play it again.
There's 4 behind us. I'm on 1. Sorry. My neighbors are, like, renovating or something.
And so what's really incredible about this is it's not just removing the noise, it also makes Brett, in this case, sound better. And so what's really cool about this is that it basically takes any microphone and they just sound better. Could be something like a headset mic. In fact, I think we had that in one of our videos as a little demo. If you have a headset microphone that doesn't sound too great, heck, even AirPods, those all get enhanced by voice focus, which is a simple audio effect. I saw someone mention the UI. This is actually just what DaVinci Resolve generates. We include a really, really nice interface here. Also something that we take a lot of pride in when it comes to our audio effects. So you can also just go in here. You can set the strength. It's got this really nice visual representation. You can also toggle it off and on again here. So if you want to do that here, you can. Although most apps will also generate their own kind of like, simplified UI here that you can use to change all of the settings. Um, and well, and so, using this is also super simple. If you're in DaVinci Resolve here or, Adobe Premiere, all you have to do is take the voice focus VST3 effect once you have it downloaded, and then you just drag it onto the clip. So for example, here, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And I can just go in here, VST effects, Elgato voice focus, drag it on there, drop it. It immediately opens the window. I can now make my adjustments and I'm, good to go. It is now on and working. Um, Pig Radio says, what's wonderful about this is it doesn't sound metallic, robotic, or full of digital artifacts. Great quality. And that's exactly right. So that's one of the big things that sets voice focus apart from other solutions is that you might have noticed right away that Brett's, in this clip here, in this example, Brett's voice didn't become more robot like, it didn't become tinny. It also didn't really remove parts of his what he's saying. It simply made him sound better and it removed everything else. And so that is one of the really, really kind of impressive things about voice focus and things that the team spent a lot of time in is, okay, how do we do that? The other really cool thing that I need to mention here, and this one is pretty big, especially in today's world of GPUs and all that, it does not require a specific graphics card. So voice focus is a effect that you can use across your Mac, your Windows laptop, your Windows desktop. It doesn't it you can have an NVIDIA GPU, an AMD GPU, an Intel GPU, Apple Silicon, it doesn't matter. In fact, the effect runs on your CPU, and it's extremely, extremely lightweight, and I can show you this. If I head back into, Wavelink here, voice focus is actually on right now, and it has been. And we can take a quick look at Task Manager here. This is getting a little bit technical already, but I just want to show you here. We can take a look at Task Manager. We can see all the different processes. And if I just type in Wavelink, you'll see here it's using about what is this? Between one or it's more like 2 to 3%. Okay, so 2 to 4% of the CPU. And what do we have in this system here? We have a 9900K. So it's got 8 cores, 16 threads. So this is actually what, like a 5 or 6 year old processor in here, and it's using only 3% of the CPU. If I now go ahead and turn off voice focus, you'll see here it is, well, it actually barely made a dent. It still goes up and down to 3.6. Yeah, that's because it's actually still active on voice chat. So if I disable it here, I can either disable or take it off. Is it on any of the other ones? No, I think that's it. Okay, so now it goes, wavelength goes down to about, well, 0 to like 1%. So it's adding about 1 to 2% to your CPU, which is not something you're gonna notice. Like pure and simple, your game frame rate is not gonna be impacted. Your rendering times are not gonna be impacted by this. It's simply something that you enable on your mic and wavelength, or you enable on your channels, or you just add on top of your video editing, and you just keep using it and you're good to go. Even on low power laptops, you're going to be fine with this. Of course, the stronger your system is, the less of an impact it's going to have. But again, the impact of it overall is so low that you're generally not going to feel it. Most other solutions, the ones that are GPU based, unfortunately, you do kind of notice when you have them active, and they might not even sound as good. So we think this is really, really cool. And again, if you buy a Wave Mic Arm MK.2 today, up until the 12th, so what is that? The like Saturday or Sunday, you'll get this audio effect for free, and you can use it across all of your different apps, OBS, Wavelink, if you have a different microphone as well, and as well as, Audacity, all of that. So I've done a lot of talking. Burrito, I think we had one more thing we wanted to show in regards to the Wave Mic Arm before we completely move over to voice focus, right?
Yep. All right. So what I've done while you've been doing that great demo is I've actually put prompter on here by first connecting the camera to the mic arm, and then I have slotted on the back plate, the ring adapters, so the prompter's actually just slotted on very nicely to the. I can actually do that part right now, so you can see that. So there is the camera. It's got the 62 millimeter ring plate there, and we'll just go ahead and slot that in. And whoops, I missed. We'll go ahead and slot that in correctly and not miss. And then there you go. That's how you can just have prompter and your camera on this mic arm. So you can see how that's mounted there. So it's mounted on the camera, and then prompter's attached there. And then you can just tighten, and now you have your prompter.
Super
And
cool.
then connect your cable for your prompter, or maybe your cable from your camera going through CamLink. You can just go ahead and route that all through this nice integrated cable channel. The prompter's actually connected right now. Where's the cable, Phil?
What cable?
You can barely see it. Look,
Oh,
you
yeah,
barely see that
cable.
here.
Yeah.
Barely see that here. Super clean, super sleek. So yeah, you can absolutely set up prompter on Wave Mic Arm MK.2.
Awesome. Thank you for showing us that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So let's while I get this away.
So at this point, we're done talking about Wave Mic Arm MK.2. However, we're not done with Wave Mic Arm MK.2. So
done.
we have posts and threads on Discord, on Reddit. We have our product page. We're on Twitter. We have even more live streams throughout the week. If you have any questions, make sure to go to one of those places. Go to Reddit, go to Discord, go to Twitter, or even I think like Instagram. Where all can they continue asking questions or getting info about the mic arm?
Yeah, you'll definitely want to bring your questions to Reddit, to Discord. Check out our Explore articles, our YouTube videos. We've already done a great job answering a lot of your questions. The wonderful videos that went up today on Voice Focus and Wave Mic Arm MK.2. Yeah, you're going to want to check those out because it covers a lot of the things you're probably wondering. So a couple questions that people are having. What is the latency of this plugin at 100% from Shay? I think we could bring that question up when we have our guest here in a moment.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, in just a few minutes, we're actually going to have a guest from AI Acoustics joining us, and Voice Focus is powered by AI Acoustics. So we can bring up that question when they come on. So we're going to be talking to Fabian, who's the co-founder of AI Acoustics. Before we get into that, I want to do a quick recap about what's going on here, what Elgato Week is, before we go into our last segment here, which is talking with Fabian, which is to tell you Elgato Week. So let's see that schedule real quick. Every single day this week, from Monday through Friday, we have launches. Some days we have multiple. We've got software, we've got product, we've got something totally new on Friday, something big on Thursday, something to help you control things that you might already be familiar with on Wednesday. And then we're totally reimagining something tomorrow. I cannot wait for tomorrow's stream. That's going to be really fun. I think you guys are going to be super excited to hear about what's going on.
Definitely gonna
I
nerd
can't tell you
out.
more.
Yeah.
We're gonna nerd out. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna be able to show so many different things and configurations that you are gonna be interested. I can't say more. I'm gonna spoil it.
It's a big week for creators. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's a big week. But yeah, join us every single day this week at 10 a.m. PT for these live streams. We're going to be talking about each thing that we launch each day. We'll be doing a couple recaps throughout the week about what's already been launched. So if you miss anything, you can always come back and we'll recap throughout the next couple streams. And then we're also doing Q&As. So if you have any questions, bring them throughout the week. We know this is a lot of new stuff. But the key thing I think you guys are excited about is giveaways. So once we're done talking with Fabian here in a moment, we're actually going to be doing a giveaway for Wave Mic Arm MK.2. So if you guys were looking to get one, this might be the time to try to win one. So yeah, all right.
Wow, that's the first time we've mentioned it. I don't think we mentioned it earlier on the
they
stream.
know
So
though. They keep doing that giveaway
Yeah?
command. They know what's coming.
Okay.
And this giveaway for everyone watching will only be on Twitch. So if you are anticipating to join that giveaway, this is your good amount of time warning that you're going to want to come over to Twitch to enter that giveaway. It's just the system we have with the bot. It's on Twitch. So yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, okay. All right. Something else to know for Elgato Week too. If you speak Spanish, Japanese, German, French, I'm missing one, Portuguese, and you would like to see streams in your native language, we actually have streams for those coming next week. So Monday and Tuesday next week, our amazing region teams will be leading their own streams, and they're going to be talking about all the products that are launching this week, next week, and they will also have some giveaways and stuff like that. So stay tuned for the full schedule for that. It's already set, so we'll have it up very soon, and you guys can join on those. And then on Monday next week, we're also doing a big Discord town hall to, again, go over everything we launched this week.
Is that the one where potentially John Elgato himself is joining?
Yeah.
Julian? Oh,
Yeah.
super cool. All right.
So you'll definitely want to go there and ask any maybe more in-depth questions, maybe sit there while you're working to get a recap while you're doing something else. You can hear everything that we've been up to. And then I want to add one more thing, which is that we're actually going to be at TwitchCon next weekend. Phil, how is TwitchCon next weekend?
Isn't it the following weekend? Is it this weekend or next weekend?
It's next weekend.
I guess it is next weekend.
It's next week.
Yeah,
okay, sorry. It's not this weekend. It's next weekend. So we will be at TwitchCon. So please make sure to come full force. Come by our booth. You're going to see everything that we're launching this week at the booth, as well as you'll be able to talk to some of the product experts behind them, ask your questions, learn about everything new, especially the stuff that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Definitely going to want to see some of those demos.
You're going to be there?
I'm going to be there. You're going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
Are you going to be there? Who's going to TwitchCon? Who are we going to see there? And then on the community team side, if you guys are not going to TwitchCon, we're actually going to be streaming on Saturday. So we'll have some giveaways for those of you who are not at TwitchCon. And if you're going to TwitchCon, yes, we will have giveaways. We'll have a community meetup again this year. And you're going to want to join those because I heard is that a prompter at community meetup? And good news is you actually don't have to take it home. We're going to ship it to you because we did a rock paper scissors last year.
Yeah.
I brought the prompter box because I'm like, the box is big. I'm like, no one's going to want to bring that in their luggage. So I ceremoniously handed the box, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to ship that to you. Don't worry. And they actually wanted to keep the box.
Was it signed or something?
They're actually in chat.
Oh.
What?
Did you sign the box?
We did not sign it. Maybe we did. I don't remember. It's so long ago. But yeah, so please make sure to join us at TwitchCon. Community meetup at Corsair Elgato HQ. I'd love to do that.
One day.
Great question. Maybe one day. We definitely want to do that, and maybe a different. Yeah. Yeah. There's too much. There's too much. Can we talk? We can talk about it. It's announced.
What thing?
It's announced.
I guess.
Briefly?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in the Bay Area,
this is like a little updates time.
It's just a little thing, and a little side tangent, and then don't worry, we'll get right back to voice focus.
Yes.
I guess
it's announced. I saw it announced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Corsair is opening a store at the Valley Fair Mall in, is it Santa Clara? Well, that's the county. I don't know. Is it
It's
San
basically
Jose,
San Jose,
technically?
yeah.
Yeah, San Jose. And we're going to be there as well. So,
Yeah.
as Elgato is a part of Corsair, and so we're going to have Stream Decks set up there. We're going to have microphones, cameras, basically everything for you to come and check out. So, if you live in the Bay Area or maybe a couple hours away, and you want to make the trek over,
Yeah. And
then
that's this year. If you
soon,
actually
yeah,
if you're local and you go to Valley Fair Mall, you actually see the display saying like, "Oh, Corsair coming soon." It's got the Elgato logos. It's got the big old image with Stream
yep.
Deck Plus and Wave Mic Arm. It's so cool. And we're really
We'll have more
excited
to
for you
share
guys to
about
try
like the
it.
opening and the
Try
grand
the stuff
opening where
there.
we'll also be at all of those. So yeah, if we would love to see you there, and it's really cool to get some hands-on time with the product. So
So we're
okay,
busy. You can
yep.
tell. We've been really busy on every single different area, software, product, store, TwitchCon event. But let's go back to Voice Focus. We have a very special guest joining us here today. So why don't you go ahead and bring
Get
over
him set
bring
up.
bring bring that all set up
Let's
here.
see.
We're
Get
going to be speaking with Fabian
here's
from
that.
Yep, thank you. From AI Acoustics, talk a little bit about the story behind AI Acoustics, how voice focus works on your computer, their background, all of that fun stuff. So we're just gonna do this little transition here, bring this guest on, and thank you so much, Redbow. You're doing amazing. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. And the giveaway will be after this interview, so make sure to stay tuned. And that's again only on Twitch. So if you want to enter that giveaway, make sure to head on over to our Twitch account. On my way from Ohio. Well, look, if you're in the Bay Area, you happen to be around San Jose, whether you live there or you're flying there, by the end of this year, we'll have that store. So make sure to come by the Valley Fair Mall, which is also just a very cool mall, by the way. It's like my favorite mall. Um,
Okay,
Yay!
I think we are all set. Fabian, can you hear us?
Can somebody get an
You
answer
can.
for
Awesome. All right.
Chameleon in chat? Okay, you can hear us. Perfect. Let's switch on over to talk to Fabian. Awesome. Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Hello and welcome.
Do you want to introduce yourself real quick to
Yeah,
everybody
thanks.
watching?
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sorry.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I will get that fixed up.
Yeah. Or why don't I fix that? You talk. Yeah.
Fabian. I'm one of the co-founders from a company called AI Acoustics, based in Berlin, and we're very proud to work together with Elgato, especially on this feature, on focus feature, and yeah, very hyped to release the VST that we're doing today.
Yeah, super cool. So I think kind of to lead us off, what is, AI acoustics and kind of what's the background there? How did you guys get started?
Yeah, I'm happy to elaborate a bit more. So the company is, I would say, 4 years old. We're sort of in an incubation from the Technical University in Berlin. So my co-founder, Corbin, who's now our CTO, and myself, we have always worked sort of like in the intersection, what I would call sort of like in between like audio and machine learning, which is basically AI technology. So I mean, beginning we've worked on like more music related applications like music recommender systems, music transcription
Hmm.
systems. There was even a time when we worked on, I'd say, machine learning algorithms that would detect if machines are breaking down based on the audio. So I think we've been through the spectrum of different audio and ML application, and at some point we have specialized more on the speech processing part of things. And I would say one motivation for us was also that, speech eligibility and quality is also like a bit of a topic for us themselves, for ourselves. Um, um, Me having like produced some electronic music, or played in a band, so we don't have 20/20 hearing anymore. Let's
Hmm.
phrase it like the topic of speech intelligibility, both in content and communication, has always been an issue, or like a topic for us. Plus, it's just like something that we've been trained on, and that we're really, I'd say, good at training these machine learning models. I think this is how it started. Um, it's, yeah, we've come like a longer way now. We have a team now of 14 people working on the topic, a lot working on the technology and training the machine learning models, integrating it then into a format that can be used, for example, from you guys into the voice focus feature.
Yeah, super
Awesome.
cool.
Could you tell us a little bit about how the story between AI Acoustics and Elgato started? What was that journey into creating voice focus?
Yeah. So I think we got introduced last year, by mid of last year, around about, and I think it was a very like natural fit right from the start. I mean, you guys, you create like awesome hardware for streamers and content creators. We've been working on software and I mean technology to help content creators, streamers, sort of like in I would say non-optimal scenarios when it comes to audio. So that, can be a very reverberant room. It can be like room resonances, but it can also be some like background voices or noises that hinder the quality of the stream or even the content. And so we saw like naturally like from the beginning on that. So like this combination of software and hardware, both very much focused on the quality of audio streams, is just a very good fit. And then we got into talking. The Elgato team has tried a lot our technology in different scenarios for different languages. So there was a bit of an evaluation phase as well. And then, we worked on the integration and came up with the voice focus for microphones first. And now this is basically the second iteration.
Yeah, it's been really fantastic working with you guys. I mean, when we were looking at a technology for kind of removing background noise, improving someone's voice, even beyond having good hardware and a good mic, most of the solutions out there weren't really satisfactory on our side. I mean, it either impacted the voice too much, you would hear, oh, clearly there's something going on, or it
Mm,
didn't work well enough, or there's also the other side, the performance the performance thing to consider, right?
yeah,
How much CPU does it use? How much GPU does it use? Is it something that you're going to notice in your day to day? And all of these things are incredibly important for, people using our Wave DX or Wave 3 microphones. Um, so I guess I have a question there as well, which
yeah,
is, um, something that's pretty unique to Voice Focus, among a lot of other solutions, is that it doesn't require a specific GPU. How did you guys kind of like come up with that, or what's kind of the basis of the technology there that you can just do this all in the CPU?
yeah. Yeah, good question. So we do have a team of, I would say, real-time audio experts, and their main job is, so to say, how do we get these machine learning models that we train on very like large machines? Because the training needs, GPUs. It consumes a lot of data. Um, Often on like cloud infrastructure, but how do we get these models that are at some point finished training? How do we get them into like a framework, so like machine learning inference framework that runs very like efficiently also on like CPU? So we basically built our own what we call inference framework. Inference just means um, how do you run a machine learning model basically in production? So like
Hmm.
during runtime then. And we've built this like from scratch in a programming language called Rust. And that has, quite an amount of like advantages. And one of the advantages is that it runs like relatively lean on standard, I would say, CPU devices. And well, that's, I'd say, one part of it. And the other part of it that we also have a scalable kind of like model architecture, model being a machine learning model that we can scale up and down, so we can like tailor it to a specific like CPU need. So it's a combination, I would say, of like the machine learning training and the size of the model, of course, which is always a trade-off between how big is the model versus how good is the quality that comes out, kind of. Um, and then, but we also have a really good like real-time audio team, Stefan and Andy, which bring these models basically into applications, into our SDK that you guys
Hmm.
use.
Yeah, and I think it was super easy for our team to integrate that as well, which is super cool. And a highlight has been just that audio quality and then the performance of it. Um, so we're super excited to now offer it to everyone as an
Yeah,
audio effect that they can just use in like pretty much any application.
yeah, definitely. I mean, if that's interesting, can also elaborate a tiny bit more on the model training itself. I mean, that's also part of sort of like how it's being produced.
Yeah, that'd be
So,
super cool.
often, yeah, but we often start. imagine you have like, a, an amount of like audio recordings with like very high quality in a very good like studio. So we have our own studio slash slightly anechoic room in Berlin, where every day people come in basically and record their voices. We do give them like a voucher from the cafe downstairs, so they are. Yeah, it's a bit of like a, how do you say? We have sort of like done the business relationship with like these smaller cafes in
hmm
Berlin, or second-hand shops. So we reimburse the people somehow
I like that as a
for
trade-off. Record a little bit of your voice, and then you get a coffee. I like it.
yeah, I think it's
Where do I
really like
sign up?
you can get a full breakfast. So if you're around in Berlin, so we're around Hauptstadthofe, so pretty much in Mitte. If you're around, let us know. Record. It's probably like 3 to 5 minutes that we only need. Either you can talk to one of our recording engineers, or you bring a friend and you can talk to each other for like 3 minutes, and both get a voucher from the cafe place. But it helps really to, I would say, well, record a lot of, yeah, people speak in a very controlled environment. And it's also by now, I would say, a data set, a training data set that's very like large in quantity and in like quality, and also like diversity. So we have more than, I think, 100 different languages in there. Sometimes people speak with different, timbre, melody, different intonation, different like pitch. So we're really trying to capture kind of the different types of narrated and spoken word, so to say. And this is our, well, base or raw audio data set. Um, and then in the next step, in the so like it's called pre-processing, we do basically destroy the audio on purpose. So we have two
hmm
people team. They are, I would say, glorified audio destroyers. And they do nothing else than like simulate different like audio problems and artifacts onto the very high quality audio signal. So, different types of rooms, different like distances to the microphone, different types of microphones. I think we have more than 500 or 600 different types of background noises that we've cataloged by now, and so on. But also different other artifacts like, codec compression, clipping, distortion, all these things. So we simulate all these things onto the high quality audio. That's basically then the destroyed audio is the input to
hmm
our learning model. And the machine learning model then needs to figure out a way to learn kind of a transformation from, I'm getting destroyed audio. How do I get this back to what we call recording studio quality? And this machine learning model that's being trained is then the underlying model that's also in voice focus. That's how it works, roughly.
That's super cool. Yeah, thank you for the insight. It's always fascinating to hear how these models are trained, and yeah, the fact that it's also super cool that you have just real people come in and do the
Mhm.
recording there. And I was also curious about how you get basically the bad audio, and it's interesting that you kind of put your own, you just put room noise or whatever on top of that and kind of destroy your own sound. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, usually, I mean, I know this is for training. It's like you want to clean up the sound, but in order to clean up the sound, you first had to mess it up to teach it how to clean it. So that's very fun.
Yeah, we
That
sort of
honestly must be a fun process.
yeah, we basically prepare the model in the training step to be, ready for any type of like destroyed audio input that could come its way. And so it's seen all these like thousands or millions of like examples of, how can an audio be, you know, deteriorated, sort of being noise or reverb, or distortion or clipping or whatever, analog or digital in an analog or digital way can happen to audio. And then it kind of like learns to be prepared for all these cases. And then, in voice focus, um, it can sort of like heal and remove these artifacts.
That's actually a really great kind of segment. So you mentioned heal and remove, right? I think also something that's very different to other solutions is that voice focus doesn't just well, it doesn't just remove audio, right? There's a little bit more going on there.
Yeah, so it's I would say the model learns inherently, sort of, or like implicitly, kind of where do I have to, and it's better to imagine this sort of like in the spectral domain. So we all know audio from the time domain, which is basically,
Right.
an
So
audio.
time is yeah.
Yeah, and an audio waveform, so to say. So an audio waveform is a standard representation in digital audio. You can also with, it's a mathematical operation called a Fourier transform. You can like build a spectrogram out of a waveform. So you can basically, it's like imagine it like as an audio image where you still have the time on the x-axis, but you have the frequency on the y-axis. So you can see which frequencies actually happen kind of in the recording or in the audio at a certain point in time. And if you imagine sort of like this representation, spoken audio and word is often sort of like, there's sort of like wavy lines, sort of like in a horizontal way, kind of. So that's the frequency parts basically that the model tries to preserve, and it kind of like removes all the parts, outside of these core parts of, what the voice part of the in the frequency domain is, and then it can also learn to basically recreate parts of these, I'd say, voice parts in the frequency domain that's gone missing. For example, through through like MP3 compression or something. Sometimes you see like holes in the spectrogram, or if it's like I'd say like a different kind of like difficult hardware where the frequency response is not perfect. So it inherently also learns to like recreate part of the frequency spectrum, and it somehow also learns inherently to like uh, slightly compress and EQ maybe the audio when I'm speaking more in like audio DSP terms, but it's not the same. You can't really like say it's like one to one the same to like
Yeah,
DSP
yeah.
mechanism and effects. It's just like it just learns how to recreate this recording studio quality and also the spectral attributes of it.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, that's one of the things that we noticed right away is it doesn't just sound like you're removing, say, background noise or room echo or reverb or something like that. It actually sounds like you're even like closer to the microphone. You're more present. And I guess this is a part of that. It's learning, okay, this is studio sound. This is that presence, that closeness to the microphone. This isn't. And so then it kind of it does that a little bit for you as well, which is super cool. We had a
Yeah.
pointed question here in chat
Yeah.
actually, and I think somebody was asking, what is the latency of voice focus? Do you know
Um,
that?
that, that's a good question. I think we're in between 10 and 20 milliseconds of latency. That's a that's a fair point. Also, like the latency is basically determined. If I'm you know can explain this in a bit more like technical terms. So we're giving in digital audio. There's always like audio buffers, kind of like that we move through also in this like video stream now, and often they're like 10 to 20 milliseconds long. So we also train the models which kind with these sort of like length of audios. That means while during training time it gets presented like audio, I'd say audio, tiny audio buffers or pieces that are 10 to 20 milliseconds long. And the longer you make this window, basically the more context the model sees at training, and the model also sees at inference time. So the longer you make this context window, the better the
Hmm.
model is at like audio quality improvement. However, the latency also like increases with it. So it's always like a trade-off. How much latency do you want in your application, or how much is the maximum you can tolerate versus the audio quality that should come out. And I think we've found a good optimal point here, which I think is between 10 and 20 milliseconds.
It's also something, yeah, where you don't really notice it if you're speaking on camera and you have a tiny bit of delay then on your mic. And I mean, 10 to 20 milliseconds is incredibly low. That's not something that you really even detect as a human if there's a difference there. So yeah, and that's also just an incredible low amount of audio data, right? We're not talking seconds or even minutes here. We're talking about
Yeah.
milliseconds. I mean, you haven't even said the full word yet. So that is really, really cool.
Yeah, it doesn't, so like it's also like language agnostic in that sense. So it doesn't really, the model doesn't learn to understand language. It just learns how does a healthy sort of like spoken word audio spectrogram looks like, kind of, and then always maps like a destroyed audio spectrum onto like a good one. So it's kind of like language agnostic, and this is also why it doesn't need like full words or like full sentences. So it only needs like, you know, a context of, you know, the audio spectrum.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we have a question in chat, which I think you kind of answered, but to ask it again because everybody is interested, I think, in these coffee vouchers. And Zink asks, can they only train with people who come in person, or do they have a way to send in audio?
Yeah, fair question. So our preferred method is definitely like like coming in person, because we need to have these recordings in a very like controlled, like perfect environment. I mean, if you have a perfect environment somehow at home, that's a different question. But generally, it's easier for us to like record in Berlin in our like studio. So if you know you're around at some point in Berlin, I don't know, feel free to drop by, send us a text, come by, and yeah, contribute to the next model iteration of Voice Focus, so to say.
Awesome. Oh, chat was so into that concept though, so maybe someone will go by. You have to let us know. That would be so cool. And then you guys can shape the future of voice focus. Somebody mentioned something interesting, which is like, would it be possible to add more like delay to get more context and quality? That's an interesting concept. I guess maybe if you're not doing something live, or maybe if you can just adjust the latency like in your video to sync it up. But as of right now, that's not a feature. Interesting concept, but not currently a feature in voice focus.
Yeah. So in exactly in Voice Focus, we've again found sort of like a operating point kind of in this latency, which is both, you know, small enough to, you know, have a normal conversation on streams, but you know the quality is good enough. We do have an online platform where you can also like upload and test sort of like our larger models that are in our backend. But I think this is definitely for like a live streaming scenario. These models are just like too large and need too much context. So I think for the live stream itself, and the real-time applications, I think we found a very good like, I say, trade-off in a positive way.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Let's see. Did we have any more
Yeah, we have
questions
some
from
more.
chat here also?
So Tanos asks, is the standalone VST the same version that's in the current Wavelength software?
Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
And then also, I just want to clarify real quick because I did see some people asking about, oh, is voice focus available for like other mics now? So essentially, what we launched today is a standalone version of voice focus that you can buy for a one-time purchase, and you can use it on any microphone. You can use it in different programs. You can use it for live content, pre-recorded content. You can now use it as a VST3. So this has been something that you have not stopped asking for since we launched voice focus in Wavelink earlier this year, for your Wave 3 or your Wave XLR, or like eligible Elgato audio interfaces. So now you can actually buy voice focus and be able to use it on actually 3 different devices, and then you can
Yep.
also swap those out. So yeah.
If you want to use it in your podcast during video editing, we showed a demo earlier of what it's like when your neighbor is maybe drilling holes in a wall and you're trying to do a podcast. It works really well there.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
when you have somebody,
yeah.
you're an online podcaster, like you have people calling in. Maybe not everybody that calls in has like the best microphone audio setup. So you can actually just throw on voice focus, and you can process their audio so that they don't have to do it. Also, for those of you who are maybe not very good at processing audio, I know I myself am still pretty new to this kind of stuff. It's hard to get into the world of like fine tuning audio. That is that the iceberg goes deep. But maybe you're a new streamer and you just haven't learned all this stuff yet. Voice focus is so easy. It's literally just, set it up, adjust the slider to remove as much background noise as you may have. If you don't have too much, you can have that slider really low. If you have a lot of background noise, or maybe the leaf blowers going outside, you can actually slide that all the way to the right, and you can have a lot of not only noise reduction but also voice enhancement, without like really distorting your voice, as you may experience with like other, maybe voice effects. So yeah, this is now available to buy. You can get it on Elgato Marketplace, and then you get that license key. And like I said, you can use it in with like 3 different devices too. So that's like really cool.
I guess a question I also have, and I'm kind of curious, but what is sort of the the focus? These models can update, they can be trained over time. There could be new versions. So is there something that you guys are like focusing on now when it comes to, the model that's being used in voice focus? Is it, maybe keyboard sounds, or are you noticing on different types of speech it could be improved? Like kind of what's the next, basically update there, if you will?
Yeah. Generally, we're so first of all, I really like resonate kind of like with the application you've mentioned. So often, um, in a stream scenario, also sometimes on like a call or something, people like incomings like calls or streams often have like really questionable quality.
Mhm.
We both
Yep.
do this, for example, like often we work like in with partners in broadcasting, for example, too, and like people call in from I don't know whatever situations with whatever quality kind of. I mean, sometimes it's like landline calls, sometimes it's like being I don't know in very like how you say acoustically challenging environments. Let's phrase it like this. And often, yeah, it's like even I use it often more so like on incoming calls even, because
Mhm.
that's not something we can control as well. And I think that's cool that, with the voice focus, we have the possibility to do like both ways, so like outgoing and like incoming, so to say. And to your question, yeah, so the next iteration is, I think, so first of all, we're not sort of like focusing on like one specific noise. We've really like created a another data set kind of for different types of noises. I think we have yeah, more than like 500 different types of noises. So we're trying to, yeah, I'd say prepare really the model not just like for different like speech inputs and like terms and such, but also like for different noise types. Some are more noise events, like impactful and like just a short period of time. Other noises that we have and train into the models are more like acoustic themes, we call them, where it's like a constant like acoustic theme being outside in a city or something like this.
Mhm. Yep.
I think we're continuously trying to improve to include more of these background types and sounds. And that's also like where we appreciate any feedback from the community. For example, if you see that voice focus might not perfectly work for one or the other scenario or background noise type or room type or whatsoever, we're very like interested to hear about these, let's say, shortcomings, because that's where we can improve so like the modeling in the next iteration. So I think making it generally more stable and then bringing also some of our currently larger models to like a shorter time frame, so they might even have a tiny bit more reconstructive power, so to say. I think that would be like the next steps that we're working on. And also, one addition to the amount of voice focus, often yeah, our partners use it more like in an 80/20, 90/10 situation. It depends like what environment you're in, but it doesn't always have to be like sort of like the 400% improvement.
Yeah, one little like pro tip for everyone watching too is a little bit of room tone, depending on the type of video or content that you're making. A little bit of room tone still coming through actually can sound more natural. Obviously, you want to maybe eliminate something really annoying like a background fan or a car driving by, but you still want some of that, you're maybe in a room or you're in a certain environment. You still want a little bit of that coming through. So, like Fabian said, setting it to maybe 70% or 60%, try around with that, and it might actually be you might be surprised by the results.
Yeah, I mean, like really, feel free to like stress test it, go, I don't know, further away from the microphone. I think it has its limits. You'll discover them. But yeah, feel free to like stress test it, even like send us the maybe like a funny example of what works and what doesn't and so on. Yeah, we're very happy for any type of like feedback that can help us improve the models that we're currently training for the next generation.
Quick question from Manga. They ask, will it ever learn the owner's voice to ignore others? I'd like to use that feature for Phil.
Wow, I was about to
Yeah,
say the same thing. Could I remove Burrito so that
Dang
even
it.
if we're both
So then
talking,
there's
it
no
only
audio?
focuses on me?
Dang it.
Wow, that oh, yeah.
yeah, that's actually sort of that is something we're thinking of also in the next iteration. Yeah, brilliant reminder here. We can potentially sort of like make voice focus more voice focus and really, focus on a specific person. I think these sort of like this use case in this scenario is not so like the most common one, but for example, in the scenario you guys are sitting in, where you have a bit of like spill from one person in speakers like in the microphone of the other one, that like crosstalk, it's called. This can be helpful. So we are currently experimenting with features that are more towards like, how do I lock sort of like one person,
Hmm.
maybe
Yeah.
through maybe through like the voice fingerprint, or maybe through a speaker separation situation. This is like in, let's say it's in like very active research, so I can't, we don't have like outcomes or findings or results, but I think that's the making voice focus more focusing on a single person is something we have to like on the current roadmap. True.
Yeah. So
Very
you
cool.
say active research, but I'll translate that to chat real quick. They're cooking is essentially what you're saying. You're cooking, right?
Yeah, that's
um, somebody asked, what if you want to focus voice and instrument? Well, right now it's designed to really focus on your voice. So I might actually get rid of that instrument for you.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Just add it as a separate audio track. That would be the way to do that. Yeah.
Yes. So it's very much trained on spoken voice and narrated speech, so to say. And we've even like on our online platform, a few people have uploaded like audio clips. So if you with interesting results, so if you upload, a hip hop track, kind of the so like vocal is pretty much preserved. If you send in like an opera, everything's gone. And that's basically because the like singing in itself is more like similar to more maybe a scream, or like has a difference of like frequency composition in that sense than spoken audio is. And sometimes like the question is, a background scream or singing or music you kind of don't want to have, but then in the foreground, the voice you do want to have. So like there's a, I'd say, between like narrated speech and then more and more when it comes to like when it goes to like singing voice, it's not like a hard transition. It's like
Hmm.
a gradient, kind of. So um, it probably works like less and less good if it when you sort of like try it with more and more like vocals that are actually being sung instead of spoken. But yeah, people have tried our web platform with different types of music audio, and the closer it is basically to spoken word, the better it works, and that's exactly how it was trained.
Super
If that
cool.
Yeah. I
answers
mean,
your
there's
question.
so many different edge cases and all these different things
Yeah,
that I know you guys are interested in, but essentially, voice focus will clean up your voice. You're talking to somebody, you want to clean that up, you want to sound, have a little more presence. You don't have the audio know how because I am not looking at some of these effects with all these dials and things to control and words that I have never seen before that are very scary. This will just, you switch it on, you control the slider. That's literally all you can do, right? Like it's going to do all this incredible sound enhancement at the slide of a slider. That doesn't
yeah,
work the same way turn of a dial does, but you know what I mean.
it's really um, targeted, or like it's really made for, I would say, people who more create the content and they're not audio engineers themselves. And this is also why the interface is like relatively simple, and it's like one fader. Even with the one fader, there's quite an amount of like adjustment that you can do, but we deliberately wanted to keep it very simple. And yeah, the absolute sort of like target, or rather like the number one user is, I think, content creators often at home, but also like on the go, and something that are not necessarily have all the audio engineering skills. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
One thing actually about that is, we get this question every now and then, and I think we know the answer, but I think it would be great to hear it from you as well. So, when you're using voice focus, is that person's voice being recorded and used for trading, or is anything being uploaded to a server somewhere and being used or anything like that?
No. The clear answer is no. There's no internet connection technically needed for this feature, so this all runs locally on device. It doesn't send anything home or anywhere. This is all fully local. Um, yeah, it's an on-device deployment, so to say. The SDK runs on your system. It doesn't even need sort of like, I guess it needs internet to like the first time for the license key, I assume,
Yep,
but it
yep,
doesn't like from then on, you can use it completely offline or, in somewhere without internet connection. It doesn't, it's fully local.
yep. Yeah, so of course, that's a big topic today with creators and voices
Yeah,
and all of that. So, you can use voice focus. You can be sure that nothing that you are saying is being sent anywhere, being recorded, used for training, all of that. Like Fabian said, the only thing you need to do is when you purchase it, obviously you need an internet connection to purchase and download it. And then also when you enter the key to activate it, but that's it. After that, yeah, you could be offline and you're good
correct.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Well,
right.
I saw somebody asking if they should use it with a specific mic. We won't get into like every mic. I'm not gonna tell you should use it for this, you shouldn't use it for that. But essentially, any mic that you have, it's $50 for voice focus. It will make your sound better. Also, sometimes you have a more challenging situation one day than the other. For me, my boyfriend plays Melee, and when he's playing Melee with his controller on the desk right next to mine, and I'm streaming, chat's like, "What's happening? What's this noise in the background?" And it's just him wave dashing, all this stuff. So I actually, on those edge cases, I actually turn on voice focus because I'm usually like, I have so many different sounds going on. My normal stream use case, I actually like having a lot of noise because I got lots of stuff going on and I'm moving away from the mic. But when I need it on those edge cases that the leaf blower's outside or he's playing Melee, it's literally just toggle it on. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess, Fabian, any final thoughts, anything else that you'd like to discuss about voice focus or AI acoustics?
Um, no, I mean, I really appreciate the second launch that we've done together. As like something that I've mentioned a bit earlier is like we really, really appreciate any type of like feedback on the technology. We're an a small company, an early stage startup, so we try to learn as much as possible from people using our technology. For us, it's really cool to now see that so many people in the world can use our tech that we've built with our, I'd say, relatively like small team and everything. Everyone on the team super proud that part of what they've coded and a part of what they've like delivered kind of is now being used by so many like content creators and streamers out in the world. And if you have any feedback about what works, what doesn't, if you want to give us a shout out, that would be great.
Yeah, right now Zinc's saying fully local with 2% on the CPU, so good. And then, a bunch of people in chat were talking about how they've been using voice focus on their Wave 3 and they love it so much. Red Bow says, keep up the awesome work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's really liking it. So that's great. I'm
Yeah.
glad now you'll be able to use it in more places. So yeah, Jasmine's queued everybody to ask more questions. So we're totally in the Q&A time. So if you guys have any questions, anything that you want to know, don't worry if we've already covered it. If you're scared to ask it again, we just want to answer your questions. So Thanos asks, will the included voice focus wavelength version be available to be added to other channels for free? So it's still going to be the same method we had before when we launched it on Wavelength 2.0, which is that if you have like a Wave 3, then you can add it to that channel for free. If you have something like a Wave XLR or a XLR dock for Stream Deck Plus, any of these like eligible audio devices, you actually get voice focus on Wavelength with just that toggle already built into Wavelength. But if you want to add it to other channels, then this is where you'll want to get that VST3 plugin, and then you can add it on there like you can add any other VST. So yeah, this is giving you the option to unlock it for even more things. So yeah, hopefully, if that's something you're really interested in, this is it's a $50 one-time charge to just really improve the audio sound and maybe the people in your Discord or maybe another microphone that you're bringing in through Wavelink as well.
So I've one, I think maybe one final question for Fabian. If someone
Yeah.
wants to learn more about voice focus and also the underlying technology and about AI acoustics, where can they go?
There's quite an amount of like information on our website. That's ai-acoustics.com. We do have one blog where we talk. So we have a blog with a few articles. One is about our partnership specifically, But we do also talk quite a bit about sort of like on a more technical level about how these models work. You know, how do some of them work more like subtractively, some more like reconstructively, what should we touch upon quickly. And there's a few other like topics that go a tiny bit more sort of like in the technical details. We do share updates there regularly. I mean, we are more in the, I'd say, technical domain and the business domain. So our main channel of communication is actually LinkedIn. That's more like the business social media. So feel free to like follow us there. Again, if you look for AI Acoustics, you will find it. We publish a lot of like updates, not just about the technology, but about the team, what we're doing, and also about the roadmap that of things that we develop ahead. So I think that's an interesting channel to be in contact if you have a LinkedIn account. But we also do have, I think, an Instagram account. It's just not been, I'd say, that as popular as like the Elgato Instagram channel. That's really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's growing though, and actually the link to aiacoustics.com is in chat, so you guys can feel free to check it out there. Actually, we've been voice focusing you, Fabian, this whole time because you're traveling right now, right? You're busy guy. You're at a hotel at the moment, if I'm not mistaken.
that's correct. Yeah, I'm currently in San Francisco, so I'm actually in a similar time zone. But normally we're all like the team is in Berlin in Germany, the whole team. But I've been in San Francisco for nearly a week now, mostly for like seeing partners and been to like one or two conferences here. I mean, tech scene in San Francisco is just very interesting and a lot of yeah partners are here. So I am currently in a hotel room in San Francisco downtown. That's
Yeah.
correct.
So your audio input that we have here, we've actually been running it through voice focus. So Chris, tech directing here, can actually toggle it on and off if they want to see the difference, right? So this is actually a great example. You're calling in, you're in a situation where you're kind of on the go. You maybe you're using your MacBook audio, if I'm not mistaken. So we can actually hear the difference, and you guys can see. This is something that you can do if you buy this VST3. So maybe toggle that on and off if you just want to talk for a bit, and then while you're talking.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk a bit more. Again, very proud, of this voice focus feature together. Also, I think we're releasing this. One of the part of it is like at a conference next week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I really appreciate the partnership. And again, if there's any like input that you guys have for this technology, that's great. Also, really enjoyed the live stream so far and all the questions that were incoming. If there's more questions, I'm happy to answer everything. Also, like on a deeper technical level, I'm not sure. Did the go after now come through, or do
There
you
you
want me to
go.
talk about the
Chat
breakfast?
is Chris says jaw equals dropped. Chameleon says, "Oh, you can hear that. Holy!" Zing says the echo from that room. Very
Yeah,
cool. Oh wow, that's
it's like a
impressive. Wow,
as
very noticeable.
a non-treated room. It's probably like, I don't know, something like 12 square meters or anything. I don't know if you hear like the downtown San Francisco through the window as well, but it's very like it's a bit like boomy and echoey.
Hmm.
It's not extremely bad, I would say, but it has this sort of like room tone to it, which just is different from if it were be in like a treated or like a recording studio, something like this.
Yep.
Yeah,
And the thing
super
that
cool.
we always say is that audio quality is so important, right? When people are like, "What's the first thing I should buy for my stream?" We usually tell them a mic, right? You want to number one, make your voice heard, but also having a good quality microphone is just so like enjoyable as a listener, especially if you're listening to something like a podcast that doesn't even have a visual. If your audio is not cutting it, it's pretty hard to listen to and to watch. So this is a great example of someone's calling in. Maybe they're out and about. Maybe sometimes you're talking with like an industry professional who's just not techie in that way. Like they don't have a podcasting setup. Maybe they're across the world. Maybe that microphone's getting distorted by just the natural call. This is the kind of stuff that you can turn on voice focus, and without them even knowing, they didn't even have to do anything. They didn't have to know anything. You can clean up their audio, and they sound really nice and sharp and so much more professional. Wish my boss would let me expense this. Okay, M3, clip this. Ready? hey, M3's boss, expense this for them because they'll sound so much more professional. Yeah. And any of those clients calling in that sound like they're calling from a tin can, well, M3 will be able to hear them better and thus be able to work with them better. That's all I'm saying.
So
This
what
is
we've also
official advice.
so what we've also found is we've talked. I mean, we research a lot about like audio and speech quality naturally, and we've asked a lot of question also. A lot of people the question of like how important is audio quality to you, especially like in a if you imagine you listen to like a podcast for an hour or for like 2 hours or something like this, and there's I would say three categories that we found. So there's one category of people who just don't care about like that's a relatively like small percentage, like maybe 5 to 10. They just don't care about audio quality. They just like somehow need to understand what's going on. Then there is another small portion of people, maybe also like 5%, who are like really audio experts and have a trained sort of like ear, so they can listen to a podcast and they can basically tell you. We have one or two like people working in the team or advisors. They can basically listen to the audio and they can tell you this was recorded in a 12 square meter room with that much carpets on the walls, these reflections, and you've probably been like 1.5 meters away from the microphone, and that ran through like an MP3 compression of like 64 kilobits. It's like crazy what they hear. So there's a small
Hmm.
amount of people that are really audio experts, and then the largest part of like the listeners or the people who yeah, listen to podcasts, probably like 80%, they cannot pinpoint down exactly sort of like what the issue is in a podcast if it wasn't recorded perfectly, but they do perceive that something's off and that maybe they don't want to listen to that quality now for like an hour or for like 2 hours. And that's because we've been trained lifelong. We train our ears kind of, and we know how to navigate in like acoustic scenarios and all of this. So like most of us as people are like naturally like trained to have good ears, maybe not super trained, but we can recognize even without professional audio training that something is sort of like off or like unpleasant in audio, and that this is maybe not something I want to listen to like for an hour or for 2 hours. So what I'm trying to say here, bottom line, is that a lot of people, even though not professionally trained, they are very sensitive to audio qualities that we found.
Yeah, I notice it in particular when I have, and actually, this is a stat that's rising, and this is something that's kind of interesting. So the amount of people that, and back in the day, this was more like TV and TV shows, but nowadays, people will put just YouTube videos on in the background, right? As you just leave it on your TV, and it's particularly on TVs, right? Your phone you're usually using, but it's like your TV, you'll just leave it on. Maybe you're cleaning, maybe you're working on a hobby project, whatever it might be. You just leave it on, and it just runs through videos. And obviously, there you're not seeing what the people are talking about, but you just hear them. And one of the things that I notice, particularly, is when people don't use a low cut filter, where basically
Mm.
the sound is way too boomy, and then you don't really have that clarity in the sound anymore, which
Yeah,
voice focus also seems to deal with as well, from what I've found. It,
yeah,
because like you said, it has that like what is studio grade audio, which isn't a ton of bass in there. um, It'll even remove that a little bit to make it sound, well, you still sound present and you still sound good, but you don't have that boomy low end that can be really distracting.
yeah. Yeah, that's also something that the model sort of like inherently learns, that audio shouldn't be like too heavy on the bass frequencies. I mean, it's difficult to like find. I mean, different listeners or different like producers obviously appreciate or mix their audio a bit differently. So like some have more the yeah, like a very like clean, like news anchor kind of like sound in mind. Others more the one where you're like very close to the microphone, with this effect that you have a bit of like bass presence in your voice. I think we've tried to find sort of like not a, I don't want to say like an average, but a good like point of sort of like
Yeah,
the
like a
audio
nice
kind.
sweet spot.
Sorry.
Yeah, a nice sweet spot kind of in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But one thing we've also like thought about is that at some point maybe we can offer different like profiles or something, for a different for slightly different sounds. That's not even being cooked at the moment. That's more like in how you say in but that could also be like an avenue in the future to have like different profiles. However, then maybe we already like depart from the way to make it just like very simple, which currently I think is a very strong feature of this feature.
Mm, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
We have a question in chat. Can you use voice focus with other VSTs, like stack that with noise gate or noise removal VST? Yeah. Do you actually maybe want to talk about like a recommended audio chain?
Yeah, that's actually a
Yeah.
really good point. So for something like a noise gate where there's no sound coming in at all until it's activated, is that something that, in your experience, you would recommend putting before or after voice focus?
That is a very good question. It's something that I would just encourage you guys to try it out. So if technically, zeros come in, which is basically like complete silence, but if a noise gate is very strong and there's just like silence, it should also like output silence, of course. So that shouldn't affect it too much. That's a specific scenario, to be honest. We haven't tried out if like a noise gate before and after. So I would encourage there with experimentation. Generally, like the model was trained on like pure incoming non-processed audio. So like intuition-wise, I would say try to like the voice focused first and then shape it a tiny bit afterwards. But this hasn't been like validated in any experimentation yet.
That's something that I've also found too when with video editing. When you have a bunch of different clips, or say with podcasts, you have a bunch of different clips. You could apply voice focus to each clip, and it basically has its own instance then each time. But that basically means it has to spin up, do the thing, and then it stops again, and the next clip starts. So what we found is that if you, for example, are in DaVinci Resolve and you're editing, you apply the voice focus effect to the entire audio, essentially the entire audio channel, instead of the individual clips, because that way it has a continuous audio processing instead of, kind of starting and stopping and starting and stopping every time. So there's a little pro tip as well for everyone watching. If you're doing video editing, try applying it directly, onto like the entire channel. Like if you have a vocal track, apply to the entire track, not individual clips, basically. Um, and then
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, same thing with the noise gate. If you're using it in OBS Studio or other real-time software, then try voice focus first and then add your noise gate after that, which also should help, right? Because if you have the noise gate, basically if there's cleaner audio coming into the noise gate, it'll do better at kind of turning off essentially your audio and then turning it back on again. So two really good tips there.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
Any other questions? Any last questions? And somebody asked, is Fabian using it now? We're actually adding voice focus on our side to his call, and it's running right now. So if you were here earlier, you can actually check the clips, because I know people clip that where we're toggling on and off. You can actually see the difference. So very cool.
Yeah. I see another one there. Prickle Bar asks, is voice focus a VST, or how can you use it while editing? That's exactly right. So that's what we launched today. We launched voice focus as a VST, or on Mac OS as an audio unit or an AU. You can, of course, also use VST on Mac, depending on the software that you're in. But yeah, you can now purchase it, download it, and use it for your podcasts, your video editing, your clips, if you're making short, like Instagram, TikTok, whatever it might be,
Your
doesn't
streaming, your
matter.
meetings.
Streaming,
Yeah.
meetings, exactly. If you're just chatting with friends in Discord, and maybe in a little bit here, I can also show and demo again how that all works, especially if you want to apply to other people, also how you use it in video editing, all of that. But we still have Fabian here from AI Acoustics. It's the company that we partnered with to work on voice focus. So if you have any other questions, if you want to know a little bit more about the, kind of the deeper inner workings or anything like that, now is the time to ask those questions.
Yeah, following up on your thought right now, you can also like just use it in a DAW, like a digital audio workstation, technically, if you want to edit some audio there or have a clip recorded that didn't have voice focus before any like treatment, or like, I don't know, some like old recording or anything. Like, feel free to try it out, on different tracks, also in a digital audio workstation. That works with the VST format as well as with the AU format, of course.
That's actually an interesting idea. We're gonna do that right after I think we're done talking here. I
Yeah.
want to try putting it on like a YouTube video, maybe like, I don't know, the speech from like JFK back in the day about, we're gonna go to the moon or something like that, just to see what it does to even older
Yeah,
audio recordings like that.
we actually do have, and again, that's like on LinkedIn, we have a small series called Enhancement of the Week. So every, I think, Monday or Tuesday, or like every week, basically, we publish one clip. Mostly it's something that, it's just like, relevant for this week, like something very like current, and do like a before and after to show sort of like the technology in action. So if you do follow us on LinkedIn, you'll see there's one, yeah, clip that we publish every week, which we've called the enhancement of the week.
Yeah. Chameleon says, I'm going to follow your LinkedIn for that. I'm invested now. Oh, me too. I'm locked in. I want to see those. We actually have a question from Hero Vibes who says, question for you. I'd love to know what are some of the biggest challenges at the moment that you guys are dealing with? I guess, improving voice focus or, just AI acoustics in general. And is there a way we as a community can help going forward?
Yeah. So the way of helping again is the feedback. If you have feedback, let us know. If you want to, I don't know, talk about us, give us a shout out either on social media. We're really still like a very small company that is just starting to develop this technology, and so any type of, um, I'd say, shout out or like mention on social media that brings us sort of like a bit more in focus. That would be great. So that would be very much appreciated. And again, like saying it again, the feedback where the technology doesn't work or where it works. If you have like a cool sample, where it works, send it. We just publish it as enhancement of the week, and on LinkedIn is something we're always collecting. You know, situations where our technology helps, and where it needs like improvement. So that also would be great. Challenges per se, I would say the machine learning technology moves very like quickly. So like the research in machine learning is incredibly fast at the moment. So we're trying to keep up with sort of like the newest developments when it comes to like research. We have very, very capable machine learning research teams, like 5 engineers from our side work on the topic. Kudos here to the team who've built the actual core model, and keeping up with the research itself, and always like pushing like the boundaries to how can we make these models a tiny bit better. Often that helps if we have community feedback or like user feedback who help us in which direction to move them to shape the product roadmap. That's all things that we appreciate as a small company, and where we can like, I think, push more and more the boundary of what's possible in terms of like speech and audio quality.
Yep. I have a really nice message here. It's huge.
Wow, that's
So
a
it's
long
going to
message.
cover me. So I'm going to take it out. But I just want to let you know that Pig Radio says, I don't have a question, but I would like to say thank you to AI Acoustics for making this sound so good and make it so easy for people to get great results. I spent 30 years in pro audio, and this is wonderful that everyone will sound much better with the flick of a switch. Thanks for moving things forward for everybody. I'm picky about audio processing, and this really shines and sounds superb. Appreciate all you put into it. That is so sweet. Thank you so
Thank you so
much
much
for
for that.
sharing that. I guess I just want to ask, how's it been like seeing the feedback from the Elgato community, seeing them using it in their streams, but also their thoughts and impressions about voice focus?
Just generally like very thankful and very like rewarding. It's again like a technology that we've developed, in the beginning we like 2 3 people, and now it's like 10. So like everyone contributes to this, to the product that we can integrate with you guys, and it's just super rewarding to see that this technology, what we've built with this small team, actually helps so many people now in the world. Because again, not everyone has like a recording studio at home, or like a perfect environment, or like is in a situation where otherwise audio quality, like audio recordings, could be difficult. So like just seeing this in action, kind of, and seeing it being used by so many people, all over the world, like in any type of like country or continent, for any type of like language, is really incredible. And I think that's what motivates us the most to see like, our product in action being used, providing value add, providing benefit for in this case the streaming community. That's really cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Fabian, for talking with us today. I hope you go back and see this VOD, or if you have the chat open, or maybe Jasmine can send you some of these, because there's a bunch more messages that came in too, saying thank you so much for helping everybody with their audio. But yeah, thank you so much for speaking with us today. It was great to not only talk about voice focus, but also learn more about AI acoustics. I know I learned. I did not know the way that you guys were actually creating this and creating these samples for to train the model. So this was super insightful. Thank you so much. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your trip in San Francisco. You're a hop, skip, and a jump away. You're actually not too far. You should
Yeah.
come to the Corsair office.
Yeah, I'll definitely stop by next time. Thank you. Thank to the community. Give us feedback. We also have, I didn't mention that, we have a Discord channel where you can also like,
Yeah.
come on and give us, feedback. So appreciate you guys having me on the live stream. And I'm very much looking forward what, the creators and streamers stream, build, record with our tech.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Super
Thank you
cool.
so much.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
Awesome. All right, here.
Very
We're gonna take
nice.
your laptop. You guys
Absolutely.
are so nice. Look at all the hearts in the chat. Bro, I'm like getting emotional. They're so nice. You guys are so nice. Also, I like everybody who's like, I want to go to Berlin now. I want to help them. I wanna record an audio clip. I mean, it must be really cool though. Like I can imagine their setup, like, us being like tech nerds the way that we are. Like they probably have a really cool setup. To not only record audio, but record ways to mess it up, to train it. That's so cool.
Yeah, and also even
trip to Berlin.
I would take that job as a audio destroyer. That's cool on a business card.
That's
So
just
what do you
another
do? I
Tuesday on my
destroy
stream.
audio. Or that, or you can just have that inherently, that too. But yeah, super cool. And as a recap, right? Voice Focus is out today as a audio effect plugin, a VST3 or AU that you can purchase, download, and install and use across any application with any microphone, either an incoming audio like a mic or other incoming audio like a call or your chat with your friends, or even audio from, let's say, if you're playing, I don't know, you're playing Call of Duty Warzone, or I personally use it on Squad. If you guys know the milsim game Squad, because the chat there can also sound pretty bad. Not everyone's got basically a streamer mic, right, as they say. And so sometimes you just want to upgrade that, and that's how I use it. So there are a couple more nuances or little things that I wanted to show though, and specifically around, we've had some questions on OBS, right? Like, how do I use voice focus now in OBS? If I've got my mic in OBS, or maybe I even have my desktop audio being captured, how do I use voice focus? So unless there's anything that you wanted to cover.
I would like to start the giveaway.
Ooh.
If Jasmine, you can go ahead and get that queued up for us.
I think that's more important, chat.
That way they can be entering while you're doing that that last demo.
Sure.
Fabian really convinced me about voice focus. Thank you so much, Chameleon, for also like following their LinkedIn too. I know they really appreciate that, and they're just super excited to share more about not only what they're working on, but some cool demos of them cleaning up some audio. So yeah, in just a moment here, we should have the giveaway starting. So to clarify what the giveaway is, we are giving away a Wave Mic Arm MK.2 today. So that's the brand new version of Wave Mic Arm that we just launched today. If you want to learn more about that, we have an incredible video on our YouTube channel, and you can go back to the VOD and watch the beginning of the stream where we did some different demos. But yeah, we're giving that away today. So I believe Jasmine's currently working on queuing up that giveaway. When will Elgato Rug MK.2 be announced this week?
I mean, the original still hasn't been announced either, so I don't know where that idea is coming from.
Yeah, how are we on MK.2? We didn't even get to Mk.1 yet.
I guess question for the winner, are they also going to get voice focus?
They're going to get Wave Mic Arm MK.2 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But we are hoping to do some more voice focus giveaways, hopefully in that Discord Q&A next week, on that Discord town hall next Monday, actually. So in exactly a week. I bought voice focus. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Radek, for letting us know.
Let us know how you like
have
it.
You guys
also
gotten it yet?
either on Discord or on Reddit or on I guess Twitter, anywhere. Let us know what you think about it, or if you have any thoughts. Yeah, definitely. As Fabian said, they want to hear the feedback, and you can also send that through us. So let's say that you are using voice focus and you find that it is not performing how you want, or it's having some strange behavior in certain ways, definitely let us know, and then we can also pass that over to the AI Acoustics team, and then they can take a look at that.
And if you buy a Wave Mic Arm MK.2 today, you get Voice Focus VST for free. But that's only for a couple days, only for like 6 days.
Until the 12th, which
Until
is
the
what, like
12th.
Saturday or
6 days.
Sunday?
Sunday. That's Sunday.
Okay.
So you have until Sunday to buy and upgrade your Wave Mic Arm to Wave Mic Arm MK.2 or any mic arm that you already have. If you're interested in it, it's a great time to get it because that's a $50 value that you're adding on. So you're basically getting the mic for almost half off, or the mic arm for almost half off.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then whatever mic you have, you can then bring in. Oh, they found the giveaway.
Uh-oh.
They found it. You can tell.
Okay, well, it's going.
So yes, the giveaway keyword is Elgato Week. This is only on Twitch. So if you're on YouTube, you're gonna want to come over. It's because of our bot limitation. So sorry to everyone there, but you will have to come over to Twitch to enter the giveaway today. If you're interested in more giveaways, by the way, we will have giveaways on our Discord. So join our Discord for sure, and make sure to follow us on like X and Instagram. We'll have more stuff going on there because we did so many launches now. We want to make some nice opportunities for you guys to win those. Also at TwitchCon next week.
Oh, yeah.
More giveaways there.
Yeah, shout out to our marketplace team who enabled us to do giveaways of these digital items now.
Yeah. That's
basically it's a win for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So you may not have seen us do that before, but now we'll be able to do this kind of stuff more often. So yeah, type Elgato Week in the chat and a quick recap on Elgato Week before we get into that demo, and then we'll do that demo and then draw the winner. So yeah, let's go ahead and see that schedule for this week because today is just day one. Wave Mic Arm MK.2 and Voice Focus as a standalone VST. That's only the beginning.
I was gonna say, what a strong start.
It's strong. Yeah, this is like we've totally reimagined your mic arm, and now your audio is gonna sound so great. Your audio coming into your computer is going to sound really good. Tomorrow, I cannot wait for the stream tomorrow. I think it's going to be...
We're going to reimagine even more tomorrow.
Reimagining even more. And this one's going to be really interesting because it's going to be something that affects everybody. I'm going to say that lightly.
I think also everyone with a microphone possibly.
Yeah.
That is also super cool.
If you use audio, you might want to hear about this one tomorrow. But that's not all. There's even more, but let's get to it tomorrow. But yeah, then on Wednesday, we'll have an update to something that you already know and may be using to make it even easier to control. Thursday, we're going big. I cannot wait for Thursday. I've been waiting for this one. And then Friday is actually like, I cannot. Like, that's the one
I think that's probably it's going to be the
Friday.
Most fun live stream. I think.
Just
unless it all breaks, but I think it won't.
Friday is going to be unlike anything we've done. And throughout the week, we'll be doing Q&A and giveaways. So Friday, we're not really doing Q&A. Should I tell them that? It's going to be unique on Friday, okay?
Yeah.
It's unlike anything we've done before. So please join us and help this proof of concept work because I think it'll be really fun. And I'll also mention we're streaming a long time on Friday. We're streaming from 10 a.m. PT to 5 p.m. PT.
Woohoo, that basically means no work for me that day. Let's go.
Yeah, only stream. So make sure to join us throughout the week for this. And next Monday, we'll have a Discord town hall, as well as Monday and Tuesday next week. We'll have streams in a bunch of different languages for any of you guys who speak Spanish, Portuguese, French, German, or Japanese. And look at that. I got them all on the first go.
Very nice. And then, of course, we're also going to be at TwitchCon with a big booth there. Our team's going to be there. So if you are going to TwitchCon, you can, meet both of us as well as the team that is bringing you all these incredible products. And stop by and see everything live and in person. And I think that's it all there. So what is for the giveaway? What was that keyword in case somebody didn't see the chat?
That keyword is going to be Elgato Week. So you're going to type that in chat to enter. Also, I just want to let you know if you're not going to TwitchCon on Saturday from 10 to 12 PT, we're actually going to be streaming from TwitchCon and running some giveaways. So for those of you who aren't here, so come back to twitch.tv/Elgato for that. Also, I did realize somebody asked me this earlier. I totally misread the question and I redirected them to a mod, but I didn't realize they were quizzing me on this. It stands for gas, piston, spring.
There you go.
And the GPS, you didn't even have to tell me when I realized, because Fabian was talking, I didn't want to interrupt him. When he was talking, I realized what the question was. And then I was like, oh, shoot. And I did remember then. So thank you for quizzing me. I cannot believe you followed up on that. Oh, my God. I forget sometimes that they're on top of it. If I tell them quiz me on something, they're going to quiz me. If I tell them come back for something tomorrow, they come back for it.
Yeah, it's good.
You guys are keeping me on task. But yeah, you want to go
Okay.
ahead and run that demo?
Yeah, so kind of I think the final thing that we're going to look at today is voice focus, VST, and how to run that in different applications. So I'm going to head over to the demo station here, and we'll get started. Okay, so on the other mic here, let's take a look at voice focus first. So what you're going to do to get voice focus is head over to Elgato Marketplace, and then you can simply search at the top, or you can, you'll find it in many different ways. There are many links for it. And then you will have to purchase it. Now, you have a choice here, and this choice does matter a little bit. Or it depends, basically. So if you click on Windows here and purchase that, you're going to get a VST3 audio file, and or audio effect file, rather. VST3 works on Windows and Mac OS. Now, on Mac OS, not all apps support VST3s. Most of the big ones usually do. However, on Mac OS, if you select that, what you're going to get is an audio unit effect, basically an AU or .au. That AU works on Mac, but it doesn't work on Windows. So, in my opinion, if you want to be a little bit more on the, like, let's say you go between a Mac and a PC or something like that, or you want a little bit of flexibility, even if you're on Mac, go ahead and purchase the Windows version and you'll get the VST3. Once you do that, I'm actually not going to go through the flow here, but you purchase the audio effect, and it's going to give you two things. First of all, it's going to tell you if you want to open it in Wavelink, and then it's also going to give you a download, just a download option. And actually, maybe I can show it. Let's see. I'm definitely just going to dox myself here. See, like I said, we'll just do elgato.tm and sign in. Oh, okay. Apparently, we're not going to do that live. All right, so we're not going to do the install live. But what happens is you then get the audio effect file, right? And that file you download, and it's going to live in your downloads folder here. You'll see it. It's just called Voice Focus. Now, since I'm on a Windows PC, I can only show you this part here. But what you need to do is you actually need to put this file in a specific place. And so go ahead and just copy it. And next, you'll want to head to your computer, your disk, and then go to Program Files, and then Common Files. And if what you should see here is a VST3 folder. If you do not, go ahead and create a VST3 folder here. Go into that and simply paste the voice focus audio effect. It's that simple. If you've downloaded previous Elgato plugins, you might have those in here already. You may have other ones as well, but basically, this is where you want to place it. Once you've done that, open the program that you want to use it in. I'm going to go ahead and show Audacity here, and you'll see it actually very briefly, very quickly scanned for new audio effects. In Audacity, I'm going to go ahead and just, record some audio here. And now you can go ahead and add the audio effect to it. So there's two ways to do that. You can just click on effects up here, add effect, and then VST3. You'll see Elgato and then voice focus. I already copied it in there. That's why you see two. But you just take one, and what you'll need to do at this point is it'll actually be locked, and it'll ask you for that license key that you copied earlier. And you'll want to go ahead and then paste that in, and then it gets unlocked, and you're good to go. At this point, you can use the UI here to change the intensity, as well as turn it on and off, and that's pretty much it. So that's how you would use it in Audacity. In DaVinci Resolve, it's much the same way, right? Or any other video editor. You just go ahead and launch it, open the project that you want to use it in. Did I already have it open? Oh, I guess I already had it open. So let's say you do have a project open here in DaVinci Resolve. You may want to, or you may have to double check just in your preferences under audio plugins. Make sure that it's enabled here and found. You should see here Elgato Voice Focus loaded successfully. At this point, what you can do is, go into your video here, and then you can go on your effects tab at the top left and just, search for or find under VST effects Elgato Voice Focus, drag that onto your clip. Or if you're editing in, what do they call it? Fairlight, is it? Yeah, in Fairlight, then you can also, add it as an effect here. Um, and also add it to things like, your different buses and stuff like that. So it's really quite simple. Same thing though, if you haven't used it yet, then you'll need to activate it the first time you use it. And this goes across pretty much every single app. The other thing is OBS Studio, right? So I'm going to go ahead and open OBS Studio, and OBS is a little bit more involved, and I'll tell you a little bit why. Because by default, OBS does not support audio VST3 audio effects. So if you go to filters here, let's say you take your audio input, right? You have your mic. You click down here. What you see is VST2 plugin, but there's no like VST3 plugin. There's no AU plugin. Like how do you do this? Well, there is a plugin that you can install for OBS that allows you to do it. OBS Studio ATK. It's called ATK Audio Plugin. It was somewhat recently released, actually. You can see February of this year. And basically, what this does is it adds a full blown VST and AU audio host into OBS Studio. And this is what you'll want to install. So you simply go to download, it'll download the version that you need, and then install the ATK plugin. It's really quite simple. It has installer and everything. It's very simple. Once you do that and you launch OBS Studio, head back to your microphone source or the other audio source that you want to process and go to filters. Then click on the plus button here, and you'll see there's a couple new options here for filters. You have audio delay, device IO, plugin host, and plugin host 2. You'll want to select ATK audio plugin host. You can give it a name there, and then hit open plugin settings. And you'll see this window here. There's going to be no plugins here. It says select a plugin from the list, then load it. What you want to do first is click on options and then scan for new or updated VST3 plugins. So click on that, hit scan. You'll see it finds all of them. And now you simply select Elgato Voice Focus and hit load. And boom, there you go. Now you have voice focus here. You can again adjust the strength. You can also close this window. And the only plugin it's currently running is voice focus. And it's a filter. So if I actually turn this off here, now voice focus is off. Now voice focus is on again. And you can go ahead and open it there again. And so that's what you have to do. Basically, it's very simple. First, install the ATK audio plugin host. Second, add the filter. Third, scan for plugins. And then fourth thing is select the plugin and use it. And so that's how you can use voice focus in OBS Studio. And the great thing is, it works for anything, right? It doesn't have to be a mic. It could be any other audio input device, could be audio output, it could be a media source of a video, right? It doesn't matter. As long as it has a filter that you can add to it, an audio filter, then you could have voice focus process it. And so, yeah, this is a great question by Eduardo Saborio. And would using it in programs like directly in Wavelink, OBS, and Audacity count as 3, even if it's the same PC? That's a great question. So this activation limit is just 3 computers. This is not like 3 programs or whatever. This is just, so for example, the computer that I'm showing it on, that's 1 computer. You can activate it in as many apps as you want. You can use it in, let's say you have 10 sources in OBS with audio. You can have 10 different, voice focuses running if you want to. It simply applies essentially to the hardware. This is a pretty common thing among the industry. If you do need to like reset, like let's say you move to different computers and you've already activated your kind of 3, you just reach out to our support team and they'll be able to help you further. But realistically, I don't think you're gonna run into that. And yeah, so that's how you can use OBS, voice focus directly in OBS. There's other apps, of course, like Streamlabs OBS, Meld. I'm not too familiar. I think Meld also supports VST3's Streamlabs OBS. I'm not honestly sure. You may just want to double check that before going ahead and purchasing voice focus. Just make sure that it does work. The app, basically the keyword is VST3 or AU. If the app that you're using supports that, then you'll be good to go. But with that being said, that's enough yapping from me. I think I want to turn it back over to Burrito to run the giveaway so that you guys can, potentially win a mic arm. So let's do that.
Right. I know everyone has been waiting at the edge of their seat. We need more yapping. Why do you want more yapping? Don't you want giveaway?
We've been yapping since like a long time this morning. What?
Remove keys for voice focus. That's another good question.
Remove keys?
Yeah, like if you want to remove it from one PC.
There's actually currently no way that you can do that yourself. Just reach out to our support team and they can help you out with that. Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, all that being said, Jasmine, if you are ready to draw the winner, I am ready to see the winner in the chat. So whenever you're ready, we can do a countdown as well if you would like. And yeah, setting it multiple times doesn't increase your chance of winning. But just for fun, if you want to type Elgato Week again, everybody, you could type it again if you want, and then I'll give you a countdown after that. Ready? Have fun. Type all the Elgato Week you want.
What week is it?
It doesn't give you any more chances, but it is fun.
Yeah. What week is it?
What week is it? Chat. What week is it?
Wow, look at that. They're
What's
they're
going
all
on?
getting it right.
What
It's
event
Elgato
is
week.
all week this week?
That's crazy.
Is
It's
that
Elgato
Monday through
week.
Friday?
Yeah. Monday through Friday. All day, every day. We're going to be here. Our team's going to be here. We have new things every single day. I don't think we've ever done something like this, right?
No.
Not a whole week. We've done like 2 days or something like that, but not a whole week.
Yeah. Elgato month.
Elgato
You know
month.
what? After this week, it's gonna be so big it turns into Elgato year.
And after that, it turns into a year of vacation.
Elgato decade.
Yeah.
A year of PTO. Let's go.
A year of PTO.
When's that giveaway? When are we
What-
giving away some PTO?
Ooh, there you
Everyone
go.
enter the giveaway. All right. That's why I'm glad I scheduled a little nice little break after TwitchCon. After all these launches and TwitchCon, I have a nice little PTO after.
I flipped the script. I went on PTO before the launches.
Not the best strategy. You did not optimize.
Unfortunately, timing sometimes just lines up like that. Okay, enough yapping though. Who's
the big winner? All right, countdown. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Audio delay
Ooh.
and the
Jasmine's gonna draw the
winner
winner.
is
Underscode.
Underscode. Oh, they asked a question earlier
Yeah.
too. Underscode, are you
You've
here?
been here. Are you still here? Yay, you are.
Let's go. Congratulations. Well,
Congratulations.
super cool. Not only asked a question, got it answered, and won a Wave Mic Arm MK.2.
Look at that.
It's
Congratulations.
like the whole
um,
thing.
Woo, there you are. Thank you so much for entering and everybody else for entering. This is not the end of giveaways. We will
Nope.
have giveaways every single day this week. Some big giveaways. So you definitely want to stay tuned. And yeah, I mean, all that being said, a quick wrap up on what's going on. We just launched Wave Mic Arm MK.2 right here. We're both using it. It's got a low profile mode. It's got the nice cable cover. It's got plastic free packaging. It's got
all
a
metal.
nice metal build. And if you buy it right now for the next 6 days, by Sunday, you can actually get Voice Focus for free, which is the other thing we launched today, which is the standalone version of Voice Focus, which lets you use Voice Focus as a VST3 or audio unit. It's audio unit? Wow.
Yeah,
I
AU
always
audio
call
unit,
it audio
yeah.
effect on Mac, but
Audio
yeah.
effect is probably fine too.
I want the real term.
Chat is smart. They know.
Yeah, they know. All right. So all that being said, let's get some hearts in chat for the mods, guests, amazing tech director, and everybody working behind the scenes to make sure everything looks good, sounds good, and that you guys can learn all of this stuff. So yeah, that being said, maybe we can get a raid going. Jasmine, if you could find somebody. And yes, reminder, every single day this week we'll be live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. PT. So just the same time that we started today, we'll be back again tomorrow.
I'm so excited for tomorrow.
Tomorrow is, we got a lot to talk about tomorrow.
Tomorrow's possibly also
learning.
the scariest one, at least for me. And I think for the
I think we're learning tomorrow.
Yeah.
The learning hats are on tomorrow, and
Yeah.
we're ready for something reimagined. Great announcements. Thank you so much, DNA. Appreciate it. And if you have any additional questions, actually, really important note, join our Discord. Discord.gg/Elgato.
Huh?
I'm
What?
getting a Reddit next.
What?
And also head over to our Reddit, and there's also threads there about these launches, so you can ask questions there as well. So yeah, make sure to go to our Reddit, go to our X Twitter account, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. Go everywhere. Facebook, LinkedIn, just all the things.
Yeah, and if you want a nice little like overview of the new products, we have a great video from Sean who's behind the scenes here. He put together an overview of Wave Mic Arm MK.2. And there's a video from myself on Voice Focus.
Yeah.
So you can take a look
And
at
Brad
those.
and team
Yeah,
worked hard on that B-roll.
they sure did.
with the chainsaw. But yes, all right. I'm not sure if we have a raid yet, but at the very least we can end it, and if we have a raid, we'll head on over.
Do that,
If not,
yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. PDT, and the launch tomorrow. Oh my God, another launch, every day a launch, whole week. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You got 10 seconds. Okay, raid's on the way.
All right,
Perfect.
see you,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you for
watching.
coming. Bye.
Bye.